Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here, and it's Saturday, and we're doing a Share the Love Club for Eric Smith of the Fan 590 radio play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Raptors for many, many, many years. In fact, Eric joined the Raptors broadcast on Fan 590 in the late 90s, and he's been around pretty much the whole 30 years of the Toronto Raptors' existence. So yeah, he's the same age as me, and he's somebody who I remember when I moved back to Toronto around 98 that was doing like sports updates on Fan 590 all the time. He'd come in and be like, Eric Smith doing the sports update on Fan 590 at the top of the hour. And then he'd go off and do all the scores and talk about that stuff. And he really gravitated more towards basketball, which was interesting at that time. I liked him right from the start because I was like, this guy gets basketball, and he's covering basketball in a way that is more prevalent than on the basketball than the hockey. And in some ways, that was something that I always look for in journalists in sports here in Canada. Is I was a huge basketball fan. I didn't care for hockey, but everybody else cared about hockey. And Eric Smith was one of the few guys that I was like, this guy's a real hoophead. This is a guy who actually knows his basketball. As an American coming up to Canada, a Canadian-born American, that was something that, hockey never was that important to me. So I really didn't, I got turned off by all the regular TSN and Sportsnet personalities around hoops, around sports in the media here in Canada. But Eric Smith was one of the ones I took to right away. And wow, I'm really impressed with Eric's longevity. This guy has been around doing this for a long, long time. Of course, him and Paul Jones have been a great team on the radio play-by-play and for the Raptors on the Fan 590. In some ways, they're an institution. I love how they were switching on and off with each other. Like in the beginning, this is really interesting. When they started doing radio together, and we talked about this with David recently, Commissioner Trivia David, the roles of a broadcast team. You have play-by-play and color. Well, when they started out, Eric Smith was the color guy, and Paul Jones was the play-by-play guy. And they would call it. And the weird thing was that didn't make sense in some ways because Paul Jones is the former player, the more active playing career or knowledge of the game, whereas Eric Smith is the more traditional broadcasting guy. But when they started on the Fan 590, Paul Jones was doing the play-by-play and Eric Smith was the color guy. Well, around 2015, they switched, and it shows the versatility of both gentlemen at their great broadcasting jobs. That Eric Smith went to play-by-play and Paul Jones flipped to the color. So, yeah, really, really cool stuff. They're a great pair. And honestly, the Smith and Jones podcast with the guests they get in the recent years has been fantastic. Eric Smith is a very, very giving person. Part of the reason why I'm doing this Share the Love Club for you, Eric Smith, is because of your Scotty Barnes jersey giveaway recently. That he had a signed autographed Scotty Barnes jersey, which in some ways is very rare, guys. Scotty's not out there trying to sign a lot of jerseys. And he raffled it off for a very, very good cause for spina bifida and other brain ailments that happen to people. And it's really, really underrated cause that is not heard enough about. And Eric Smith consistently throughout his broadcast career has garnered money and raised awareness of this cause. So I salute you, Eric Smith, today with the Share the Love Club. You guys listen to the Raptors broadcast on radio. You're very familiar with him. If you don't, you may not be. But you know what? Maybe sometime you should try this. Sometimes if I'm annoyed with announcers in a game, I'll put the radio broadcast over it. And you can do that. You can put the TV on and turn the volume down and put on Smith and Jones while they call the game because they are fantastic. In some ways, Eric Smith is one of those guys waiting in the ranks to possibly take over in certain spots if people are not able to be there. Matt Devlin is not able to show up because of an injury or because of COVID or something like that. Well, the first couple people they're looking at to come in and call the game instead are Paul Jones and Eric Smith. So, yeah, I appreciate the longevity of Eric Smith working for the Raptors organization and calling our games on the radio. He's been fantastic. He's very clean, crisp delivery, very, very good enunciations, and he's always usually pretty on point and not sounding like he's making mistakes or fumbling on his words. So here's a salute to you. Share the Love Club for Eric Smith. In some ways, I wanted to catch more of the broadcast people that have been around for the ever for the team. We did Leo Routens. We did Chuck Swirsky recently. We've done Matt Devlin. We've done Paul Jones. We want to get those day oneers. And Eric Smith is damn for sure close to being a day oneer. Now, in the beginning, in the 90s, he wasn't involved right away with the expansion Raptors, but he came around to the team around 1998, and he is stuck since. So here's a salute to you, Eric Smith, a true hoop head, a true basketball first person in the Canadian media, and somebody that I look up to and I respect a lot. I am very critical of the people who cover the Raptors. You can ask a lot of people in this chat that I will come down on some people. In fact, I'm going to come down on some in just a sec. I mean, I went after Doug Smith yesterday. So if you've got my respect, that means a lot, seriously, because I'm a from day one Raptors fan, and I am very, very much and on top of all the Raptors history and everything that's been going on. And Eric Smith, you are a big, huge part of our broadcast, an underrated part that is not always get the shine that you deserve. And that's why we're doing this today. So all y'all in the chat, your Raptor freaks, let's go ahead and share some love for Eric Smith, a great broadcaster, longtime Raptors broadcaster, and somebody that just doesn't get his due enough, that we're going to do it. Eric recently celebrated 1,000 games of calling the Raptors games. That is a huge achievement. Think about that. There's only 82 games a season. So to get to 1,000 games, well, that is a real testament. 1,000 regular season games. They're not even counting all the playoff games. So you go, Eric Smith, you go. All right, there are things to talk about in news this morning. Yes, there is. And we're going to have to talk about this extensively. Also, we've really got to talk about DeMar DeRozan and his trip to Toronto yesterday and everything that went down. In fact, we have eyes on the event, guys. We have some insider knowledge of the DeMar DeRozan book signing event that went on last night here in Toronto. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Y'all tell me your favorite stuff about Eric Smith, and let's talk about DeMar, and let's talk about Koloko. How about that? Yeah, that's where we're going today. Cowboys here first. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Tap to you, Cowboy. I hope you're having a great Saturday this morning, and let's keep it on topic. How about that this morning? Trevor J saying, good morning, family. Grudges are a waste of time. Laugh when you can, apologize when you should, and let go of what you can't change. Love deeply and forgive quickly. Life's too precious to be unhappy. I agree with this, even though I'm very pissed off right now. And I can see the tea leaves of what's going on this morning. Shams dropping the bomb this morning. Well, actually late last night around 1 a.m., Shams saying that Koloko is about to be cleared and the front runner to get signed to is the Lakers. I'm so pissed off about this. Can I just go on and on about collusion in all kinds of different ways, whether it's Adam Silver and the fitness to play panel and the NBA colluding with Rich Paul and LeBron James to strip the clutch client of Christian Koloko from the Toronto Raptors to go, well, the Lakers have injuries at center. I was making light of this earlier this week that Christian Wood elected to have surgery last week, and he will miss a good portion of the beginning. Vanderbilt is already out for them, so we need a center. Well, what is Rich Paul doing? Manipulating the damn league. And in some ways, this whole thing that happened with Koloko is fishy as fuck to me. And I have a big, huge question mark about what the fuck is going on. If he signs with the Lakers in the next couple of days, that I call bullshit. I call bullshit right now. Maybe other people in the mainstream media are going to say this and going to say that and that. I call bullshit because I understand that people can be hurt and be put on an extra reserve, injured reserve. Why could we not do that? Why were not the Raptors not allowed to do that with Christian? And that's the thing I don't understand. Why? And then also, all right, listen, we had to waive him because of the Siakam trade. I will ask Masai and Bobby, why did you bring in Jordan Nwora then instead if you're going to let him go in the middle of the summer right now? Seriously, I will point a little bit of fingers at our front office because I'm saying, look, y'all included Jordan Nwora, and maybe we needed the extra body because we were so hurt at the end of the year. But why didn't you just waive Jordan Nwora and keep Koloko on the roster in injury? Was it because we didn't have enough players to play games? I mean, that could be part of it. But if you want to just let Nwora walk this summer, why the fuck did you cut and waive Christian last year? In some ways, I'm not very critical of the front office, but this is one point where I can look at this and say, why the fuck did we do this, Raptors? Because it's about roster spots and money? I don't know. But either way, this is a disaster in some ways. And in some ways, this is a manipulation of Rich Paul, Clutch, LeBron James, and the Lakers if he shows up on the Lakers jersey this year. This is totally fucked. and totally wrong if this is the shit that's happening. It's basically like you saw a great Cameroonian center on the Raptors. He was dangerous, and you're like, nah, he's too powerful. We can't have him be on the Raptors. No. Oh, wait, he has a regular heartbeat. Oh, wait, he has blood clots. He's got to sit out. Man, I call bullshit. In some ways, the way this NBA league was forever and ever, and maybe this isn't totally the right stance, nobody detected this kind of shit. Players were able to run around and play, and nobody was ever excluded from playing because of a blood clot or anything like that. Sure, maybe it was dangerous back in the day, Reggie Lewis, stuff like that, and maybe we have better science now and we can detect this shit, but this shit still seems like collusion. This still seems like bullshit. The reason why y'all told Christian he couldn't play last year all of a sudden. It seems like utter bullshit. And in some ways, if Christian's in on this shit and he's like, yeah, listen, you're going to sit a year, but we're going to get you out of the Raptors and we're going to put you on the Lakers with LeBron. Don't worry. If there was some sort of grand scheme this whole fucking time by the NBA, the Lakers, Rich Paul, and Clutch to get this fucking situation to get to this point, fuck you, Rich Paul, you piece of shit. And your fucking collusion and fucking running ramshot over this league with your bullshit is what I'm going to say right now. Because this is bullshit. It's seriously bullshit if he signs with the Lakers. Now, they're saying we're still one of the front runners. This is exactly what Shams is saying. He's saying that the front runners are the Raptors, the Clippers, the Spurs, and the Lakers are the number one front runner. I'm telling you right now, this is bullshit, and I'm pissed off about it right now. But there's so many other things I'm happy about, except for this. We waited all this time for this Koloko bullshit. I talked about this shit yesterday to 2 hours, and we're going to get this fucking shit in the middle of the night where they're saying the front runner is the Lakers, Shams. You fucking pieces of shit. Your collusive fucking league with your bullshit. I'm going to go off. Maybe the Friday freakout should be today. I'm serious. I am serious about this. This is messed up is what I'm going to say. Yeah, Trevor J saying Koloko can sign with any team right now. I know, and that's crazy. Well, let's see. Masai, Bobby, what do you got in the coffers left? What do you got? What kind of move can you make? Can you make this happen? Can you pull off the Masai magic? Can you make a wrong right? Because that's what this looks like to me. There's something went wrong with what happened with Koloko. Something really fucked up. I don't think it's mismanagement. I think it's the NBA strong-arming bullshit and making things happen like this. And I am not happy about this. Seriously. And seriously, Christian, you won't get on my shit list for the rest of your life. You go ahead and go play for the Lakers. Seriously. Because you in some ways, you owe it to the Raptors in some ways. You may say, I don't know the Raptors, or some people may say he doesn't know the Raptors. He got waived. No, bullshit, because we wouldn't have waived him if he was healthy. We wouldn't have waived him if the NBA said he wasn't allowed to play in this league. Why did the fucking NBA come and tell him he wasn't allowed to play in this league all of a sudden? That's what I'm wondering. Rich Paul bullshit is what I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Trevor J saying Caitlin Clark set the WNBA assist record, 317 of the season last night. Wow. These rookies, these young women that are playing the WNBA are setting records which way. This season has been a record-setting season for the WNBA. Attendance, revenue, Aja Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. This has been a record-breaking WNBA fantastic season, one of the greatest seasons of WNBA, and you keep going with that momentum with your league, WNBA. Yeah, let's go, W. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Smooth is here. Good to see Smooth Brown Man. Good morning. I just saw the news about Christian. Lakers are the front runners to sign him, according to Shams. Even if it's a Lakers jersey, I'm happy he's been able to make it back. Yeah, in some ways, I agree with you. I'm happy for the young man on that level. But on the other level, fuck this bullshit. This is wrong what they're doing right now. This is totally fucking wrong. And some people out there are going to say, oh, it's Masai's fault. It's this. Nah, listen, it sounds like his hands were tied and he did everything he could last year in certain ways. Now, in some ways, maybe Bobby and Masai, I don't live on the moon. I don't know why they waived him in that deal with Indiana Pacers. In some ways, if they could have done it differently in some other different way, that would have been awesome. Could you have waived Jordan Wara as soon as he showed up instead? Because that may have been the smarter move. But in some ways, they had no idea whether Christian would ever come back or not. So I'm telling you, I'm calling bullshit on this. Somebody did some fucking bullshit. And I'm sure it's Rich Paul and maybe even Adam Silver and LeBron James. That's who I'm calling bullshit on. Those people right there. Those three motherfuckers right there. That's what I'm saying right now. Yeah. Nako's saying Shams is saying, hang on. Shams is saying Koloko is in talks with the Raptors, the Spurs, the Lakers. Happy to see him back. Hope it's with us. I do too, Gerald. And maybe my rant right now is not worth anything because he does come back to Toronto. I feel like it's only the right thing. In some ways, this is bullshit. It's disrespectful to us in some ways that this shit happened in the first place. I don't know how the fuck this could have gone so crazy like this. Has there ever been a situation in the last year with two centers that have been so unique, whether it's Jonte Porter and his bullshit and fucking Christian Koloko with this shit? It's like, seriously, the Raptors have had good young center prospects. Well, now we got Shamshay coming, motherfuckers, and there better not be any funny business with him. I'm just going to say that right now. So, yeah, Jonte, fucking degenerate gambler, fucking throw them the Hooskow forever. And Koloko, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? Seriously. Oh, my gosh. Andrew's here. Good morning, everyone. 22 days until Raptors basketball. Let's go. Andrew, 22 days till the Bell Center in Montreal versus the Washington Wizards. Let's go, Raptors. We're ready to see you guys get in between the lines, the 95 feet, and get back to hooping because I'm all about it. I got my basketball Jones, and I'm jonesing for y'all to come back is what I'm saying right now. Thank you, Andrew, for the countdown. That's right. David Saborin is here. The commissioner of trivia is in the house, and he has something to share, guys. This is amazing. David is an amazing person. St. David is in the house, y'all. Listen to this. Good morning, fam. Went to my very first and definitely last book signing last night. See, David doesn't even like reading. He said this the other day. He's like, man, I hate reading. Reading sucks. So why would he go to a book signing? Well, it's because it's one of the GROATs coming back to Toronto at Indigo Books last night, The Well. And he was signing his books, and he was there. And David went. David went to the event. He did not tell me he was going to do this. He went to the event, y'all. He said it was cool to see him in the flesh. Great energy to that guy. There you go. There you go. David went, and he got some of those books. He got some of the Above the Rim copies with DeMar's signatures in them. That's right. They had signed DeMar DeRozan Above the Rim, Above the Game, Above the Noise books available there. And David picked some up. He picked a few up. And apparently there's something going on with this. I'm just going to say this real quick. But yeah, alley-oop to David for sure, Cowboy. We'll do that. Let's do an alley-oop to David. Honestly, I'm going to give him a 20-pointer. Because this man has gone above and beyond. I don't even know what I want to say exactly what he did. He gave it away to me last night. But in some ways, y'all, this is really, really special. So hang on. I got to do this right. All right, we're at 218. 218 is the number for David now on his dunks. All right, let me keep going. And we'll bring it up soon. Cowboy's saying 22 days left. Let's go. That's right, Cowboy. I'm sorry about this Koloko news. Hopefully, maybe it still goes right. It's not official yet, but it is sounding like he's going to join LeBron and that bullshit. Clutch coming through like I thought they would. I was a little worried about this. I called this shit when the things were getting a little murky and weird with Koloko. If he ends up on the Lakers, this is going to be some bullshit. This is going to be absolutely some collusion bullshit with Clutch, his representation group, the one that LeBron James is very, very, very involved with. And this is some bullshit is what I'm saying. Nobody else wants to come to the Lakers. Well, Clutch is going to force their people or tell their people you need to go there to help LeBron. It's bullshit. I'm telling you right now. Tommy Dookie is here on the West Coast. Tom Duke in Victoria, British Columbia. Good morning, Raptors. I can't remember being annoyed with Eric about any of his work. That's rare among his peers covering the Raptors. WWWs for Eric Smith and screw you, Clutch. There you go, Tommy. I'm going to give you a big time dunk for that. I mean, yeah, Eric Smith is very professional. He's by the book. He does his job really well. He's very clean, crisp. You know, Matt Devlin and him have a lot in common as far as that. Their broadcast is very, very clear and clean and crisp. They're very verbose. They're very good at their jobs. They're very good at describing the action on the court. And yeah, we commend Eric Smith, a guy who does not always get some shine for his work around the Raptors. We're doing that. And Eric was so proud of the Raptors championship and being a part of that. Eric is a real one. He's a real one. He understands the Raptors. He loves the Raptors, and he loves covering them. And we love hearing him on the radio broadcast. So, Eric Smith, we're sharing the love for you right now. And Tommy Dukie's going to get a dunk real quick. Tom, thank you for holding it down on the West Coast. I think David has a surprise for you, my guy. And, David, will you tell him what you got to tell Tommy in the chat, please? Because I don't want to reveal the secret unless you do it, my guy. So there you go. All right, we're going to give Tommy a 20-pointer also because Tom's done such good work for our channel for a while. It's 179 for you, Tommy. You're raising up there right now. Yeah. Andrew saying if Koloko goes to Lakers, I'll cry. Yeah, I'll cuss. I'll cuss. You go ahead and cry, Andrew, and I'll be in the corner saying, I'll be over here saying, look at Andrew. You made Andrew cry, Koloko. Look at what you did, you motherfucker. That's what I'll be saying. I'll be saying shit like that for Andrew while that goes on. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. This is something I was kind of getting ready for just in case. Doug Smith saying this shit earlier this week, saying he's probably not coming back and saying, why would he come back here, is a symptom of he's in the NBA machine. And he probably knows the NBA is very much coveting Koloko because they saw his blocks per minute average. They saw the effect that he's having, just like a Victor Wembanyama effect with the wingspan and the ability to deter the offense from one side of the court. Yeah, they didn't want the Raptors to have that power. So they put some blood clot thing on him and said, you can't play. And now he's been sitting for a year. You get to sit 1 year and, well, you're clear to play now, but you're waived now. So now you can go wherever you want. This is collusion. This is some bullshit in here. And no mass media sources are going to talk about this shit in the correct way. This is fucked up. And Masai and this whole thing knew he was getting screwed. In some ways, Masai knew they were fucking him over this whole time. He was pissed about it. And that's why I won't get mad at our president and general manager, Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri, because I know that the NBA colluded and fucked them over in this situation, Christian Koloko, guys. I know they did. That's what I'm saying right there. Let's go. G saying, I know this is about Smith, but DeMar had a successful book signing, and the Raptors bought over 200 books to give out. Yes. Amazing, amazing healing yesterday. And I want to talk about this too. I mean, we got Eric Smith to share the love for. We got the Koloko breaking news overnight, and we've got the Love Fest and the 416 for DeMar DeRozan coming out correct. David sent me a clip of DeMar coming out at the book signing, one that he filmed with his own phone. And it warmed my heart to hear the ovation for DeMar DeRozan when he took the stage last night at the Indigo Books for his book signing. Everybody showed him love. And you know what that love was? That's healing. That is healing for some of the stuff that's in that book right there. The fact that DeMar could come back, not in a game setting, not on the court as a Chicago Bull or a San Antonio Spur, came out there on the court as DeMar DeRozan, NBA player, and just a career. And him getting the love from the Raptors fans. So many fans showing up with Raptors number 10, Raptors jerseys for him to sign. So much love showing at him, chanting MVP at that man. I'm telling you, he felt it. He felt it. He is a sensitive person, and he felt it. And right here, and there's healing there for what y'all did, coming out and showing out for him, David, and the rest of y'all. Thank you for coming there and showing love to one of our GROATs, the greatest Raptors of all time, DeMar DeRozan. And man, I was warm my heart to see that. Yes, the Raptors, a classy franchise, and the Toronto Raptors, they went ahead and bought 240 copies of DeMar DeRozan's books and gave them to underprivileged youth in the community of Toronto. And that just says the class of the Raptors organization. And honestly, DeMar thanked them for it. In some ways, that's a healing right there. Listen, if he had a beef with the Raptors for trading him to the Spurs, in some ways, the Raptors circling back, buying 240 copies of his book signed and giving them to the youth, that is just an olive branch. That is a dove in the sky. That is a peace offering. That is something that makes things smooth over and feel better. That is like healing, is what I'm saying. So lots of healing in the city of Toronto yesterday on a Friday the 13th around that number 10 that's going up in the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm saying right there. I love it so much. I love this so much, G. I love this healing so much. I love to see this kind of story arc come back to this. And DeMar, you deserve it so much. You are such a badass. In some ways, you know, I've been mad at Vince Carter this week, but I can tell you the opposite of the world is DeMar DeRozan. As far as a real one, as far as like, look, we did him wrong and he still didn't get us afterwards. There are different ways to live your life. And you can look at the story of VC and look at the story of Debo, and you can understand differences in your choices and how you come off and how you are a better person. And that's why I say DeMar DeRozan's one of the greatest Raptors of all time ever. And he is up there with Lowry. They are the two right there, number 1 and 2. And I will flip either one of them. I'm telling you right now. That's what I'll say right there. G saying, this is why we keep saying the collusion with Rich Paul and LeBron is obvious. How is this allowed? That's what I'm telling you right now. In some ways, the Lakers have the money in the spot. And in some ways, it's just conveniently that it's this. But how long ago was this worked out? LeBron, you like to work out shit ahead of time. Yeah, I know about that. You want to work out your son playing with you, and he comes in the league. You really worked that out. You railroaded that shit to it. You wanted to work out a Heat trio, Dwayne Wade, and you and Chris Bosh down there. You worked that shit out way ahead of time at the Olympics. You probably already worked out that you're an owner of the Las Vegas NBA franchise is going to get expanded to in the next couple of years. Yeah, you probably worked that out 2 years ago already. Well, you probably fucking worked out this Christian Coloco shit 2 years ago or a year ago when you saw how good he was on the Raptors in his rookie year and you say he can't be there. Rich, how can he be in Toronto? We need to get him on the Lakers. How can we do this? Let me think, LeBron. Let me figure this out. Seriously, I don't know if this medical condition is a legitimate condition even. I would even venture to guess. Is this fucking bullshit? This fucking blood clot shit? I don't know. I wouldn't put past them to make up some bullshit just to fuck things up like this. And I'm with G on this. How is this allowed is what I'm saying right now. Mike's saying the Lakers don't have any roster spots or money. Well, this will be interesting. Okay, Mike is the logical voice of reason, and I appreciate Mike so much. I'm going to give him a dunk for coming in and being a voice of reason real quick with me crazy ranting ass motherfucking Lex right here now. Yeah, I know. I'm crazy right now, but you know why? We've been talking about this a year, and we're hearing some shit now. Mike, you're at 98 now. Listen, this is what I'm going to say. If Mike is right, if Mike's saying their situation is no spot and no money, well, this may be a bidding war. And this may be, all right, we'll look at the Clippers. We'll look at the Spurs. We'll look at ourselves, the teams that have been named as the front runners. And let's think about this. Now, do the Spurs really need Christian Coloco? They've got Wembanyama already. Do the Clippers really, does he want to go play for the Clippers? I mean, if he goes anywhere else other than the Lakers, I won't say collusion. Seriously, if he wants to go to the Clippers because they have more money and he wants to go there, go play with Kawhi. But damn for sure don't go play for LeBron because that shit will look fishy as fuck is what I'm going to say right now. You should come back to us. Honestly, we've got a great young nucleus. We've got a nice young Cameroonian prince named Ulrich that's coming up, and he may need a buddy like you around here. He may need a travel buddy. Yeah, you guys probably already know each other. So why wouldn't you want to come and join up with Chomshay and the rest? And come, Scotty loves you, man. You know you can play with Scotty. You've already been here. You know what it's like to be in here in Toronto. So I'm going to say, man, what are you going to do? Mike's saying they ain't got no money. So who's going to offer him the most money? Could it be that the Raptors still have some money to spend right now, Mike? I don't know. If you can find out any information on this, Mike, and tell me from a real standpoint with the salary cap and where the team's positions are, what it looks like Coloco might do. You know, if you can look at all the teams that have been named by Shams and see which one's most likely to you as far as the money that's free and the spots that are open, that would be fantastic, Mike. In some ways, you're not doing your channel, but if you want to do supplemental stuff that you would do for your channel on this channel with us and get your information out, I would love that, man. I love you, bro, if you do that. Yeah, let's see what Fiercey's saying this morning. MJ is in the house. Good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Coloco's situation is straight BS. The maths aren't mathing. And if he coincidentally signs with the Lakers, no comment. Wonder why Phil Handy left their organization. Man, I have no idea. It could very well be that Phil Handy didn't want to work with JJ Redick. I would say that right now. He could be like, yeah, this guy is a blogger. He's a former player and a blogger, but he's not ready to coach. And I want to get off the sinking ship. So that could be part of it. Phil Handy's used to going to the finals. He had that streak of being in the finals every single year for like 6 years. In some ways, he knows when there's a sinking ship. He's getting the fuck out of there. He managed to be on the Raptors for 1 year, and we won a championship. So, yeah, I think Phil Handy is kind of like a canary in the coal mine for a warning that they may be losing or something coming up. And him jetting out of L.A., well, that may be having more to do with J.J. Redick being the head coach. I think that's what it is right there. Thank you, Fiercey, for being here right now. Blackhawk saying, who do you give up to get Coloco? I don't care. Fucking move one of those guys out of there. I don't care. I mean, Fernando may be the logical choice just because he's the other big man and stuff like that. Fernando's the insurance. I don't know. Maybe you get rid of some of these secondary guys that are in there also. I mean, I thought that they had a spot open still. I mean, it's not the point where there's probably somebody who has unguaranteed money that can be cut to make the room for Coloco. So I don't think that this is that difficult for the Raptors, especially since we're in the stage of a rebuild. And there's a lot of young players that aren't necessarily guaranteed that are around our team right now. So I don't know. I don't know who we give up. It may be Fernando, even though we already kind of because he's not guaranteed. I don't think he's still not guaranteed. And if we have to, maybe Bruno Fernando's the guy flipped out. We'll have to see. Mike's saying the Lakers are 46,000 till the second apron. So they're that close to the second apron, and they have such a shit team. Wow, what a mess. In some ways, Christian, don't listen to Rich Paul. Listen, you go there. Yeah, you'll get to play with LeBron and Bronny, and that'll be special. and that, but you may really fuck your career up because you may be going to a team that's going to be just not having any progress because they're all mismanaged and the money's just not there and they have no talent and they're already spending all that money. Yeah, you go ahead, Christian. It depends on what you care about. Do you care about winning? Do you care about building your career up on a team with a young nucleus that's going somewhere with a man named Scotty Barnes? Well, maybe that's where you need to go. Come back. And some people will say, okay, you can go play with the Lakers. Well, you may be just kind of hanging around there, and it may be until you piss off LeBron, and then you got to go or something like that. Because that's usually the pattern with the Lakers right there. Yeah, let's see. Nako's saying, I'd give up Davion Mitchell to get Koloko. I don't know if I do that. But, because Davion is going to be very special for us this year. I don't know if I do that, Nako, in some ways. That's crazy, bro. David's saying, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All right, David on the chat. So we're going to go ahead and do the classic card real quick. But, yeah, man, what a crazy of course, they do this cowardly shit in the middle of the night. They don't fucking announce shit like this during the day when everybody can go after it. They wait until it's nighttime, and then they fucking bring it out. It's the same thing as when Kawhi decided to go to the Clippers. All right, we're going to come back to 944. Here is the classic card, guys. Tell me what you think. It's a college card today. And let's see. That looks like that's a very specific team. I think that face is pretty distinctive. This is the Duke Blue Devils, guys. Who is the classic card of the day today? This is a very interesting one. ACC prominent in the back there. But, yeah, who is that? You guys know who that is? If you could write in the full name answer, you can get some trivia points for the Raptor Freak Trivia Score, and you can win the Trivia Championship at the end of the year if you do well enough. So who is that? Corey Maggette, that is wrong. Carlos Boozer's a better guess because he was at Duke, but that is not right either. But yeah, it's not Maggette. It is not Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer is the right position and the right school in some ways. But yeah, let's look at the face a little bit closer. Yeah, let's see. Who knows who this classic card of the day is? Duke Blue Devils. There we go. Andrew knows it. That's Sheldon Williams, guys. Sheldon Williams with an E, but that's fine. We'll get the scoring. That is right. That's Sheldon Williams. Atlanta Hawks, I believe, is one of the most prominent teams he's been known for. So, yeah, good job, Andrew, getting the classic card of the day. Andrew's been cleaning up on the classic card recently, doing a very good job recently. So there you go. Good job, Andrew, getting that. And, Andrew, thank you for joining our Raptor Freak Facebook chat in the group. So now you're in the know in there. Yeah, that's you, right, Andrew Eden? That's you, right? Yeah, okay, good. I want to make sure that that's you, my guy. But I was pretty sure it was you because you added it right at the same time as we were talking about that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's keep back in the chat. Mike's saying the Lakers are looking at trading for JV, who is at $9.9 million. Yeah, we've heard this rumors before that in the middle of the season, the Lakers are going to try and trade with the Wizards to get Jonas Valanciunas to show up and wear the purple and gold. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think that Jonas cares about doing that. I think that Jonas is perfectly fine on the Wizards. We'll see if this works out this way. But in some ways, Jonas don't give a fuck about playing with LeBron. He's a Raptor from those days when he played against LeBron. I don't know how much Jonas actually has love for LeBron James. So let's keep holding your breath, Lakers. This may be the next denial after Hurley and C.D. Osman that you may get next. It's like, yeah, you may want Jonas Valanciunas, but does he want to play for y'all is what I would ask. He may want to play on the Wizards more than he wants to play on the Lakers. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying Raptors can pass on any player being represented by Clutch. Clearly, Clutch and the Raptors don't mesh. Yeah, I'm sick of it too. And Gary's gone now. And who's left on the Clutch at this point? Our fucking old coach was on Clutch, that piece of shit. There's been a lot of Clutch fuckery around the Raptors in the last 2 years. And, well, let's just maybe possibly add Koloko to that list. In some ways, maybe that's the plus if he doesn't come back to us, is that we're Clutch free and fuck that shit. I mean, I heard Shamshay is Clutch too, right? I'm not totally sure who he is. Now, let's make sure we don't have any more Clutch guys if that is what it is. Blackhawks got angry faces for Rich Paul, just like I do. This is fishy as fuck. This guy was selling apparel in an airport, and now he's colluding in the fucking NBA with fucking Cameroonian centers. What the fuck is this? Mike's saying the Lakers won't go into the second apron for Koloko. You don't think so? Okay, well, this may be good. What are they going to do? They're going to cut somebody? How do they do this, Mike? I don't know. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is just them scaring us. I don't know. Mike's saying the realistic stuff about it. It may not be realistic for the Lakers to get him. Well, let's just see how this plays. They're saying they're the front runners, though. Shams is saying they're the front runners. Tom's saying Silver has to put a stop to it. It's all up to the owners or just Rich Paul and LeBum. You know, listen, Adam Silver loves LeBron James. It's obvious. He's really just wanted to like showcase him and give him whatever he wants. It's like LeBron James is king, literally, of the league, and Adam Silver is like as viceroy. It's kind of like, yeah, Adam Silver may be the emperor, but LeBron James is Darth Vader. Let's just put it that way. And so, in some ways, it's like kind of like, man, he's just gonna bend to his will. I think this whole Bronny thing is part of it. There's a lot of to this. They're gonna let him do whatever. In some ways, Rich Paul is ruined a part of the NBA on the download that nobody really realizes. Nobody really realizes how much he's ruined the NBA in some ways. Andrew's saying Koloko should prioritize us, the team that drafted him in the second round, the team with African ties and Masai and Shamshe. I agree with this. I mean, if he has any loyalty, in some ways he'd say, well, y'all didn't have loyalty to me when you cut me. But I'm like, look, didn't Masai explain to you what was going on and that maybe we're going to try and circle back when you get cleared? In some ways, Adam Silver has are you going to give the rights to first signage to the Raptors for this situation? Because it seems like this was not their choice that they wanted to do, and this is very much medical. And in some ways, a lot of players have had medical issues and had to sit out, and the teams that drafted them got to recapture them and have them on their team still. So that's what I'm wondering about right there. I'm serious. Why wouldn't the Raptors get the first right to try and sign him, seeing as we've had his rights as a draft pick? And, because this is what Oren Weisfeld's saying this morning. It's pissing me the fuck off. Oren, you piss me off sometimes. He's saying, what a mess. I think Koloko is going to be a really good player. Raptors traded a lot for his rights. So he's pointing out, he's trying to say a mistake from Masai there. They traded a lot to get his rights. And obviously the health stuff was out of their control. But instead of keeping his rights, they waive him to make room for the Siakam trade. And now the Lakers. So Warren Weisfeld, you ain't making anything better by pointing out this kind of bullshit and saying this kind of shit. Because regular Raptors fans will read your shit and they'll start turning on the front office for something really small that they couldn't fucking control, is what I'm going to say right here. In some ways, they can't control the NBA fitness to play panel saying that Koloko can't play because of blood clots. So how the fuck, Oren Weisfeld, you can get pitchforks and torches going after the front office for the Raptors with tweets like that. So shut the fuck up. Let's wait and see what happens. Maybe he is still here, and that's what I hope. That's what I hope. We have to see. Mike's saying that the Lakers picture doesn't look like it's conducive to add Koloko right now financially. That's right. So let's see. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Love to see DeMar feeling the love from Canada. Forever one of us. Yeah. I mean, David, oh my gosh, guys, I want to tell y'all what David did. David went there and he got a few copies of the Above the Noise DeMar DeRozan book signed. And apparently he's giving me one. He's going to give one to me. And he's going to send one out to Victoria to Tommy. Tommy, you're getting an Above the Noise copy of the book signed by DeMar DeRozan. David went and did this as a surprise. He was going to tell me in the chat, but he told me last night through messages on the phone while he was at the event. So I saw a lot of footage of the event because David sent it to me on the film the thing. He took film of DeMar getting ready to come out on stage, and even when he came out and got that great ovation. I love seeing him being on the shift with Kayla Gray and doing the interviews, doing all the different interviews around the different places. Of course, a lot of the people around Toronto are very familiar to DeMar DeRozan, 9 years on this franchise. And him recapturing and reuniting with different people that he's known for a long, long, long time is fantastic for him. In some ways, once again, that's healing. It may be that he hasn't gotten a chance to talk to some of these people since the trade 6 years ago, and that now he's all of a sudden been able to kind of like reunite and be like, man, I missed you. I used to come and talk to you all the time. I remember when I was on the Raptors. So that's part of it too. There's so much healing for DeMar in some ways on top of just the book, writing the book and being out there and being a mental health advocate and doing such good jobs for that cause. Well, also there's some personal healing and coming and making that book stop in Toronto like he did yesterday. That's right. W to you, Cool Cat. Always good to see you. And W to David. That's right, Isaac Campbell. W to David for sure. Yeah, Tommy's saying W for the commish. That's right. Debo. That's right, Tommy. And apparently you're going to get that book. All right, the phone's ringing. I'm not even sure why. Let's see. All right, Mike's saying, Lex, the Lakers have no money to get Koloko. Adrian, you going to get the phone? What's going on? I know, but you can get it, right? All right, will you put it off the hook after? She has such a loud phone because it talks and does all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. Mike's saying the Lakers have no money to get Coloco. Well, I hope you're right, and we'll have to see how this goes. But why would Shams say that they're the front runner then? Because we'll have to see. Blackhawks saying, "Cool down, Lex. Coloco's situation is nowhere close to the Porter situation. Let's not put them in the same conversation." Masai had to make a call. Well, I don't want to get it twisted. And Blackhawk, all respect. I'm just saying that we've had two different situations with very important prospect centers that have gone totally south this year, that both of them were very promising and they were really great. And I'm not saying it's a similar situation. I'm just saying that we've had two of the most unique, weirdest situations for centers that have been taken from our team all of a sudden in really bad ways, whether it's Porter with his very, very huge mistake or Coloco with his medical condition. That this is unprecedented in some ways. Both situations are things that probably a lot of GMs have not had to deal with. And in some ways, they blindsided Masai and Bobby because, they didn't have to think about, well, what if one of our players has a gambling degenerate and he absolutely destroys his career all of a sudden while he's on our team? Maybe they never had to think about that until this Jonte Porter situation. And I would say the same thing about Coloco. Maybe they were like, you know what? This is really weird. We've never had this kind of thing happen where the fitness to play panel is ruling on one of our players so strongly. And we didn't forecast this. That's kind of what I meant, Neil. I'm not meaning to compare them, that they're the same in that way. I'm just saying that they're very specific, unique situations individually that are unforeseen. And they both happen in the same year, which is crazy for the Raptors. In some ways, we could look at this as being like, this is part of like maybe Jonte's mistake is fucked up, but maybe they went after him on purpose, partly because he's on the Raptors. Like, what if he was on the Lakers? Would they try and cover it up because they wanted him to stay in the league because they needed him on the Lakers? That's the kind of stuff that I ask, Neil. And in some ways, I would ask the same question about the Coloco exclusion from being able to play because of his health. Is it because he's on the Raptors? If he would be on any other team and specific teams that they favor and cater to, would they look the other way is what I'm asking. So let's see. G saying logical. Can they waive someone to make room financially in a roster spot for Coloco? Yeah, we want to know. And Mike's the guy. He can tell us. Tom saying, I know I got a book, just didn't want to brag. Yeah, David's so freaking rad. Yeah, I can't believe this. This is amazing. This has been a crazy week between Trevor sending me this chair and now David going and doing this and getting the DeMar book. This is going to be a treasured thing, David, for me. Because honestly, DeMar DeRozan is one of my favorite Raptors of all time. And the fact that I will get one of his books with his autograph in it is going to be very, very special and treasured by me forever. It'll be just like my championship ring that I have. It'll be one of those top 5 kind of items that I have. So, yeah, I can't wait to read it, guys. I really, really can't wait to read it. And, yeah, David, you're amazing, man. You're amazing, guy. Tom saying, do you the young folks now know what rad means? David is sick. Rad. Oh, you're asking if the young folks know what rad means? Radicals, like in physics, right? Mike is saying, gee, the Lakers are 46,000 from the second apron and looking to trade D'Lo, Rui, Reeves, etc. for another player. D'Lo took his $16 million player option, and the Lakers without the trade salary are screwed. I love it. I love it. In some ways, that D'Angelo is the one that's causing problems for them. And that's interesting that list of names you put on there, Mike, they're ready to cast off those guys. And these were supposed to be the stars they're building around with LeBron. I guess everybody's not safe except for if your name is James in the last name. So D'Lo, Roy, and Reeves. I thought Reeves was your golden boy Lakers. I thought Austin Reeves was the future coming. Why are you trying to trade him all of a sudden? Blackhawks saying the only way we keep Coloco is if we drop Garrett or someone else. Yeah, all right. Well, listen, I'm willing to make some tough decisions. In some ways, you made a tough decision to waive him, Masai Ujiri. You need to make that tough decision back to get him back, is what I'm saying right now. Now, if Coloco's heart isn't in coming back to the Raptors for some reason, well, maybe we don't want to bring him back. Maybe he's just a turncoat. Maybe he's just not long to be a Raptor, and he needs to just go on to his future then. And it'll just be that this is a weird, fucked up situation. In some ways, his status with me will be murky. And I'll be like, I don't know if he's a long, good-standing Raptors alumni. He played his rookie year, and then some fucked up shit happened with his health. And I don't know. I don't know how to classify that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where this young man starts playing this year. I am very glad if he's going to get medically cleared and be able to play. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, we'll see where he is. We'll see what he does, and we'll see what he does against us when he shows up on the court if he's not playing for us. And those things may shape very much how I feel about him in the future. Those things right there. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Cool Cat saying Koloko has to do what's in his best interest for his career. If Raptors don't get him, I prefer to join Siakam on the Pacers. Well, they're not on the list. They are not on the list. The list is the Lakers as a front runner, the Raptors and the Clippers and the Spurs. There's 4 teams that are named that are likely for him to go to. At least we're on that list, thank God. And hopefully that is where it happens. It may be that Shams is doing some Lakers fluffing, and he's going to say, oh, the Lakers are the front runners. But then he turns around and he still comes back to us. You know, that'd be great. In some ways, they're not going to say the Raptors are the front runner to come back if we actually are, because the perception of that does not fit the narrative of the NBA and what they're trying to fucking put out there. That's what I'd say about that right there. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Koloko needs to do what's best for him. And Cool Cat's always looking out for the player's interests, even if I don't totally agree with her sometimes when she's doing that. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with you that he needs to do what's best for his career. And maybe if it's the most money, hopefully we can be the ones who can give it to him. That's right. G's saying, good. Hopefully no one trades with the Lakers to help them make room. Well, they haven't done anything this offseason, have they really? They have not barely signed anybody, and they have not made very many moves, have they? So, yeah, something weird's going on with the Lakers, and there may be something like that going on, G, on the down low. Nako saying, no way the Lakers would make a trade. I think if they were going to make a trade this summer, they probably would have already done it or something. So there's something fishy, something weird here. Once again, I think this is a league of perception. They want to perceive things a certain way. And, well, if the Shams writes a tweet last night that says the Raptors are one of the front runners to sign him back, that's not the way he had to do it. He had to hierarchy it and put the Lakers first. That's right. David saying, haha, Tom, laugh out loud. And Neil saying, we have Shamshay. As Wolverine would say, enough said, bub. I like that. And I like that you're quoting a great Canadian named Wolverine right there. So I'm going to go ahead and give Blackhawk a 5-point dunk for bringing up Wolverine today. You got the James Edwards Buddha 53 guy. Yeah. There you go. Kareem saying, fuck Rich Paul. And I'm going to delete all my Adele songs on my wife's playlist. Okay, the dunk champion has come in and he is rim rocketed it on this. This is hilarious. Kareem is going to go delete all the Adele songs off his wife's playlist because of the turn of events with Koloko right now. You are a real one, Kareem. You are a real one, and you better not let your wife see you do that. She might come back around and get you for it. So it's Kareem Thomas. We're going to give him a 5-pointer. 283 or 82. 282 is where Kareem is. He's the benchmark. He's the highest dunk champion right now. Let's see. Mike's saying Koloko doesn't save the Lakers at the moment. There are issues with the new CBA and trying to get another star before Bron retires. Yeah. I mean, they're a mess. They're a mess. LeBron's ego has made that team go all in circles, and they're in a bad shape. And they are going to be having problems in the years after he's gone because they've tied up so many weird things in different ways. And I don't understand how they're so high up on the apron with the talent they've got on their team. Rob Pelinka should probably be fired. If I was Lakers Nation, I would be mad at him. I would probably be mad that your coach is a blogger, a podcaster. And, I'd be mad for a couple of different reasons if I was Lakers fans. But no, the Bronny Sideshow is supposed to be your fun for this year. And, well, go ahead and watch Bron play with Bronny and enjoy the father-son show because you're probably going to lose a lot. Is what I'm going to say right there. Yeah, and you're already paid out all your cash. Yeah, that's a mess. Lakers Nation, oh my gosh. You guys should be in shambles and pissed about the mismanagement of your team over the last 5 years as far as things with Pelinka and LeBron James. That's what I'm going to say right there. Yeah. Cool Cat saying Raptors waived Koloko's rights. They could have held on to his rights regardless of his health. We are responsible for setting this frenzy around Koloko. I'm not totally sure, though, Cool Cat. In some ways, once again, I always say we are not on the moon. We do not know what it's like to live on the moon like an NBA GM and president like Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster are. So there may have been some sort of weird thing that they were like, well, this is what we have to do in this situation. In some ways, I do question if we were going to just let Jordan Nwora walk, why wouldn't we just waive him and keep Koloko on the roster when that deal was made for Siakam? We could have easily just done that, I think. But maybe we had to waive Koloko in the first place to make the deal go through in the first place. So some tough decisions were made. And once again, we don't live on the moon. We don't understand all the rules for the GM and the president of our team and what they have to navigate to manage the team correctly. And it could very well be the NBA, Rich Paul and Clutch, realized a certain thing in a certain situation, and they were able to get him wriggled free that way. So, I mean, I want to say that, yeah, we're responsible for it because in some ways we waived them. But why did we have to waive him? And what were the circumstances that forced us to waive him in some ways? That may have been forced that we had to waive him. And yeah, that's exactly what Rich Paul wanted. Yeah, Kareem's saying there's no way Masai, Bobby, and Coach allow Koloko around the team and have him go somewhere else. Rich Paul told people to put out that narrative, but I don't think it's true. Yeah, I hope so. Shams is a sham. We know that. He's connected to the betting companies at this point, and I don't believe him. I believe Woj more than him at this point. But both of them are power brokers of information in this league, and sometimes they shape perceptions and the way things are by their fucking tweets and bullshit. And it could very well be that's part of what Shams is doing in the middle of the night last night, is trying to shape perceptions like I said just a second ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I agree with Kareem. Why was Masai next to him at Summer League? Why were we talking to him so much? Why has he been wearing red while he's been working out the last week? Seriously, he's wearing red, and the Miami Heat are not on that list. So why is Koloko wearing red and black if he's not kind of considering coming back to us? So I hope that it just circles back and it's all fine and Masai and Bobby make this work. In some ways, our GM needs to be working his ass off right now to fucking try and get this right. And I don't care. Throw money at Koloko. I believe Oren Weisfeld is right when he says this guy's going to be really good. And we need to retain our second round pick and our investment in the rookie year of him and keep him around. Seriously, he is a good talent, and he's somebody we need on this team. And in some ways, the Lakers just getting him off the bargain bin like this would be some bullshit, is what I would say right now. Yeah, Andrew's saying Koloko has the highest chance to reach his ceiling with Toronto. I want to hope to believe that. I mean, in some ways, Koloko, this may be a thing that you may not hear from Rich Paul or LeBron James, but you'll hear it from the Raptors freak. You go to the Lakers, you could fuck your career up. You could go ask a couple other guys who come through the Lakers in the last couple of years. Yeah, Kyle Kuzma and a couple other people, Montrezl Harrell. Where the fuck is he? He's in Australia right now. So you think about this real clearly because you may be in the wrong place for development. You may be in the wrong place to get the right kind of things going in your very young career. In some ways, you're starting over. You had a rookie year, and then you sat a year. You got to start over to a degree this year. And like some people in this channel said, well, I don't want him to prove himself in the CBL before he even comes back. So you go ahead and go to the Lakers and let yourself be in that dysfunctional, toxic dump and see how your career goes because of that. I think that there's a lot of truth to what Andrew's saying right here. You go with the Darko. You go with our development. You have Masai with his back looking out for you like a father. You're in good shape here. There's no guarantees how you'll get dealt with there. And in some ways, even if you're Clutch, it doesn't show that Rich Paul and LeBron will be loyal to you because they fucked over Clutch clients there too while they've come there. In fact, y'all have been disposable like toilet paper out there, Clutch clients sometimes when they're on the Lakers. It's really up to King James and how long are you going to fit and be there and all that stuff. You can ask people like Dennis Schroeder. You can ask people like Montrezl Harrell. You can ask people like all these other guys that passed through the Lakers franchise in the last 5 years. So, yeah, Koloko, think twice and think nice and think about who was there for you in the first place. And that is this city right here. And that's the thing. And we would have never waived you if you hadn't got some medical issue. You know that. You would be on this team and everything would be smooth. We know that. Yeah, Wayne's saying Raptors freaks. Eric Smith is, in my opinion, the most loyal sports broadcaster concerning the Raptors. He is the truest of the true. There's a reason he's not heavily promoted and not seen on TV much. Yeah, he's just straight goods. He's just right on. He's just like very, very pro. When you want a word to describe Eric Smith of the Fan 590, it's professional. And in some ways, I'm not totally professional here. No, I'm not. In some ways, all right, let me talk about Eric Smith for a second. There's something he wrote a long time ago. This is actually in 2010, y'all. And this is way before YouTube blowing up like what I'm doing here. He's talking about mainstream media versus bloggers. And he wants fans to understand the difference between the reporters like him and Grange and Lewinberg and the difference between bloggers, people that are just writing articles off of opinions that are fans, or even shows like me, because I'm like the evolution of that. And he wants to make sure that people understand that the writers, people like Doug Smith and Michael Grange, are actually in the circles with the people, and they hear a lot and they see a lot that we don't hear. And that's part of the reason why they have a more inside the know kind of factual perception and what they're saying. And the bloggers are just coming up with shit off the top of their head because they ain't in the room and seeing this shit. And I agree with them. Now, I want to say this, Eric Smith. In some ways, I am a fan, a very, very passionate fan. I'm not a professional journalist like you. And in some ways, but I am knowledgeable. And the internet makes all kinds of information out there. But you also have to have a critical thought process to see through the bullshit and be able to see what's true and what's not. And in some ways, I very much value and I'm proud of my ability to try and see through the bullshit. And in some ways that, there's different levels of this. Some people are very much lying and they're just doing clickbait and they're doing all kinds of trash stuff, but there's different grades of it. And I hope at least the Raptors Freak is entertaining, if not informative from time to time with factual stuff. Maybe not a bona fide professional broadcaster, but on some sort of level near the top of the non-professional ones that are amateur doing this shit on here right now. Yeah. But either way, I love that Eric Smith has put that out there even 15 years ago, talking about the whole phenomena of bloggers on sports and how that pertains to the mainstream media and the real reporters that are out there in the room. But yeah, I read that article, Eric, and I agree with you. And I think that there is a lot of crap out there. And I know a lot of people may say, well, your channel's crap, Lex. Well, there's entertainment value and people do get information from me. So there is some value there in some sort of way. Yeah. I appreciate your words about Eric Smith, Wayne, this morning. In some ways, I love the Sergeant Wayne Strainer. Was one of our toughest Raptor freaks and really no shit. And when he says something like this, he means it, Eric Smith. So you're getting a very high compliment from a no-nonsense person right here. And I agree. I agree with you. In some ways, he is very, very loyal to our team. And in some ways, the other thing I like about Eric is that he doesn't come and attack them directly. Sometimes Leo's very mean to the Raptors. He can be very, very critical. But there's a caring and there is a certain fandom behind Eric Smith's call that you can feel through it. And it's not direct homerism. It's a very clear call. But just like Matt Devlin, these guys are not selling out the Raptors in their call. They're trying to be fair, and they know that they're calling the call for real Raptors fans. And I appreciate that from Eric Smith, a real Raptor fan as a broadcaster, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Mike's saying the Raptors still have the whole MLE. That's a big power for us right there. That's seriously, Mike, I'm so glad you're here this morning. You're like the MVP this morning for sure. That is a big, big time power for us. The whole MLE is a big, big thing. We have a spot open too. Bruno's non-guaranteed. Jarrett Roden and Battle are Exhibit 10s. There you go. There is room there. I told y'all this. Doug Smith talking shit this week in his mailbag saying there's no spot. I knew you were wrong, Doug. And I will listen to Logical Raptors Fanatic over you because he's on top of this shit and he understands this shit. And maybe even better than you, Doug Smith. So yeah, the MLE is still available. I thought so. I remember hearing this, and that could be it right there. You put that MLE on Koloko. I don't give a shit. Give him good money. Pay him a little bit more extra. I don't care. And even if things get all fucked up, at least you recouped our guy and got him back. In some ways, hey, listen, if Koloko's going to make a little bit more on the Raptors coming back than he would have if he stayed on his original contract, well, let's do this. Let's make this happen. I believe in his talent, Masai. And I know he's going to come around and be very, very useful for the Toronto Raptors in the years to come if you can recoup him back to our roster. Seriously. So there you go. Bruno's non-guaranteed, like I thought. And those other two guys are Exhibit 10 sitting on our roster for training camp. Doug Smith, why are you trying to tell Raptors fans to get over Koloko and he's not coming back? Why are you debunking his return? Because he's about to return. And they're saying that we are one of the teams that he is considering. So, Doug Smith, what are you trying to do? Or who told you to say that? Are you getting money from Rich Paul to fucking put out some bullshit, Doug Smith? That's what I would fucking say right there. Yeah. Blackhawks saying one name to Koloko is Common Malak for a 2025 draft. I don't know, man. This is way ahead. We're not doing scouting for the next draft until next year, but I will look into this name at some point, Neil. It's too early for me to do my scout of the day. We're not in Scout of the Day season, and it has to be officially next year in 2025 before I'll start looking at college prospects for the draft. Smooth saying he was married to Candace Parker for a time. Who was married to Candace Parker? Sheldon Williams? Sheldon Williams was married to Candace Parker? Yes, sir. That's me. All right, Andrew, good. I'm glad that's you in the Facebook and not some random Andrew from somewhere else. And you follow me on Instagram, too. I noticed that. Let's see. Smooth saying Fernando has a skill set the Raptors need, man. Well, so does Koloko. And I think we can have both of them.
I seriously do. I think we can have both of them. Seriously. So we'll have to see. Shamshay is on Clutch. See, that's worrisome. That's worrisome right there. Yeah, oh man, Clutch is such the bane of my existence around the NBA in some ways. Man, the Knicks stuff was bad enough, and now this. In some ways, I'm like, yeah, walk, Gary, walk. Go ahead, go to the Bucks. Walk, Gary. That's right. Cool Cat saying Koloko needs to sign for the most money he can given his health situation. Can't think too far in the future. Get the best bag deal before clot issues resurface. You know what? That'd be fucked up. All right, let's say the Raptors do throw the MLE at him and he gets the most money from the Raptors and he returns to us. And all of a sudden, the fitness to play panel says he can't play again. See, we've got to think about this from all the perspectives and the possibilities and what Bobby and Masai have to actually really sort out and think about. And this would be a disaster if they invested a higher amount of money in him than a rookie contract. And then all of a sudden, the NBA says he can't play anyway once again. So Koloko, man, just keep staying healthy. And seriously, I agree with Cool Cat on this, that in some ways, because of his health issues, he needs to get that bag now. And maybe Masai and Bobby will give it to him. Maybe they know from talking to him personally that his commitment and his health is going to get better, and they feel pretty strongly about it. But the mystery of it, they've already gotten burned by it. You don't want to get burned by the same flame twice. And that's the thing that's cautious about this. That's why this is such a situation that's kind of sticky. And I would wonder that once again, the conspiracy theorist in me is saying, well, what if we did re-sign him? Would the NBA panel say, yeah, you can't play anymore again, and make him sit on the shelf, a high paid player on our team, and we can't even use him? Or, but if you get to LA and he's playing with LeBron and the Lakers, they just look the other way and he's getting to play and he's getting to play. I do not trust the NBA at this point. And in some ways, that's the thing I'm talking about right there. Smith saying if it's not the Raptors, then he should sign with the Spurs. I mean, I wouldn't hate that, but I think that would be a little bit overkill for the Spurs as far as having two of those kind of players. You've got to understand the thing I saw from Koloko in our rookie year with him here was very Wemby-esque. There's a certain factor in a certain kind of way he can deter other offenses from going to certain places, just like Victor does. And that's the thing that's scary. The NBA saw that. A lot of people saw that. The blocks are serious, and it's a serious, serious detriment. He's a very powerful player in some ways. And that's why, in some ways, I don't mind putting the gamble on him and paying the extra money. Give him the bag, put the gamble on him, and hopefully it'll pay off. Seriously, Messiah. Don't be scared. I would say be brave. And even if you do this and you pay him and they do some fucked up shit and they say he can't play, well, I would say you did the right thing still, even if some fans will say this is all fucked up. Because honestly, the whole thing that's happened with Koloko has been a mess, and it's nothing we could do anything about it because of the fitness to panel play and the blood clot issue. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. David's saying, I wasn't on live. Was that Sheldon Williams? Yes. That was Sheldon Williams of the Duke Blue Devils in a college card, the classic card today. It's very interesting. Yeah, Andrew got it. That's right. Trevor's saying, Ulrich is Clutch client. That's how the trade was made from the Grizzlies to the Raptors. Okay. That's still annoying. I'm so glad Siakam isn't. Todd Rempere, you're awesome. That's what I say right there. All these Cameroonians being Clutch. Is Joel Clutch too? I don't know. All right, let's see. Mike's saying the Lakers need a team to take money on a trade, so a second would be needed. That they can't just cut someone because they will still have the money on the dead money. There you go. Mike knows. He's a salary cap expert. This guy knows like Blake Murphy knows. So, yeah, Mike, you're on top of it. I trust Mike because he's been on top of things in the past and over the years for the Raptor Freak channel, and he knows what he's talking about. So this is the mechanism here. So they really do need another team to bail them out to be able to get Koloko. Yeah, Smooth saying the Raptors releasing him had nothing to do with Christian. It was the medical situation. They had no choice to do what they do but to do it. Yeah, and in some ways, we've got to remember this, that the Masai and Bobby never wanted to waive him. They never, ever wanted to waive him. Blackhawk saying, once you waive a player, there's no legal rights. The only way around it is if the player has a relationship with the organization that the player wants to tap into. In some ways, that's very true. And in some ways, we don't have any rights, even though Masai, talked to Adam Silver in the NBA and tried to finagle some sort of special situation in this very special situation with Koloko. So I'm sure he lobbied for it. He may have been denied. He may have been like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just going to be this way because I'm in cahoots with Rich Paul and we're going to fucking do this way. But you know what? In some ways, this is true. And hopefully, Coloco's relationship with the Raptors will come true and he'll come through and he'll show up back in our red jerseys. But we'll have to see. In some ways, this is up to the player. And well, in some ways, look, Coloco, you have a decision right here. And it could change your standing with Raptors Nation very quickly because you have the choice in some ways. Yeah, David's saying, thanks, Tom. 150 to Andrew for Sheldon Williams, classic card of the day. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. One of the most unique players to ever play at Duke. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Andrew's saying, we've been talking about Coloco all summer. I hope Coloco shows loyalty. I miss watching him in the red and black. That's right. Well, we'll have to see. There's no guarantees. And as people have just pointed out, he's a free agent. He gets to choose his destiny. Now, I will say he's already misspoke and kind of telling what he's going to do. He's looking forward to playing for his next team, is what he said to the Arizona journalist earlier this year. So I seen some tells in certain ways, but Coloco, you need to maybe you fucked up when you said that in that interview and you let the cat out of the bag about the planned, prearranged thing that you guys had already figured out with LeBron and Rich Paul and Clutch. Yeah, seriously, you may have told too much in an interview to the Arizona Republic earlier this year when you said, I'm looking forward to getting to my next team, because you left out the possibility of just returning to the team you're already on, is what I'm saying in that. Yeah. But then he turned around and circled back and said, oh, but I will return to the Raptors if that is what happens. Yeah. See that, it's like Nick Nurse saying, I'm looking forward to the offseason. Oh, wait, you have a playing game still, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Mike saying, waiving Coloco allowed us to make the Sacramento trade. Then we waived Sasha and have an open spot now. Okay. Now, see, that in some ways that was so much later after the fact, the Sacramento trade, because that was during the draft, right? So, I mean, all right, I'm going to go by what Mike's saying because I'm going to trust him blindly, but that doesn't totally make sense to me. But allowing that to happen to get to Davion Mitchell in the draft pick, which was a shed, I believe. Yeah, that works out. Who knows? David's saying, I'm still annoyed about Jonte. He was sure he was going to be a good fit and a long-term piece for us. I was sure. Yeah, he was going to be really good for us, but he's such an idiot. He's so low IQ and such a dumbass. He really, really is an idiot. He was about to get a huge amount of money, and he sold out his whole entire career and possibly even his freedom for a quick buck in a really dumbass way, in a disrespectful way. And honestly, for what he did, it was so disrespectful to our franchise. He's one of the worst Raptors in the history of the Raptors. As somebody who actually bet against our team to win in certain ways and tried to profit off that, fuck you, Jonte, you piece of shit. You need to go rot in jail, honestly. Seriously. Landry Shamet to New York. Okay, that's not really a news. It's not really that interesting. Oh, Granny Evelyn's returned to the chat. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Evelyn. Good morning to you, Granny Swag. I'm so happy to see you this morning. Always happy to see Granny in the chat. That's right. Mike's saying also all injury information is sent to the league and certain issues get referred to the right to play panel. All teams have to send health information to the league when a player is out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know the exact process, the nuts and bolts of the fitness to panel play and how this all gets sorted out. It's just fishy to me. Let's just put it that way. I seen that kid running up and down the court this week, and I'm like, this kid, there's nothing wrong with him. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with Christian? There's been no visible thing wrong with him. I'm serious. And I don't get it. In some ways, I don't totally trust the world. And I feel like there's a lot of things in the world that are bullshit and they're cover-ups. And in some ways, there's something weird about Christian's situation. This whole time has been a mystery. And I feel like there's something weird about it, seriously. And maybe in the long history of time, we'll hear about things and details later on, and we'll find out just how fucked up it was. Seriously, there may be more details about this whole Christian Coloco thing that come out in the years to come, and we'll be like, holy shit, they fucked us over. That was really fucked up. Yeah, G saying hello to Evelyn. Always happy to see Evelyn come back. And Cowboys saying, Granny Swag in the house. Let's go. Yeah, we love Evelyn so much. Evelyn, I hope good things are happening for you. That's all I wish for you. Let's see. Mike's saying the Lakers have Jackson Hayes at $2.2 million already. Yeah, they've tried to fix things up already. Maybe they didn't have the foresight to be ready just in case. I know Masai and Bobby were thinking this all along. Is that like Coloco? We need to recoup him. We need to make sure we still try and come back and get him back. And maybe they were still holding certain things. Maybe part of the reason why our biggest free agent acquisition this summer was Garrett Temple. And we did a lot of the stuff through trades and draft picks otherwise, because that next free agent re-signing is going to be Koloko, because we need to get him back. That's right. Cowboys saying Chef Darko going to be cooking with the skillet with or without Koloko. I love that, Cowboy, and I hope you're right. And Shamshay, well, we're going to have to see him come up. In some ways, Shamshay has more promise than Koloko. In some ways, Koloko is a totally different kind of center than Shamshay. But it's an interesting thing. Hopefully, Shamshay can have some of those Koloko kind of effects on deterring people from certain sides of the court with his quickness, with his length. And we'll see. That's part of why Koloko is so good, and Wemby and Shamshay. In some ways, that may be too much. And that may be part of the reason why Koloko can't come back. And Adam Silver's saying, no, you can't go to Toronto. Now they got Shamshay too. And those are a lot. That's a lot of great shot blocking right there. That's right. Blackhawk saying, leave Adele alone, Kareem. He doesn't want you to get on that phone and take the music off your wife's phone. I mean, I don't know. In some ways, I have no beef in this battle. So, Kareem, you do what you have to do. But Neil's saying, don't do it. Let's see. Mike's saying, AD and LeBron make 2/3 of the salary cap. Yeah. And didn't LeBron just redo his deal? And it's like crazy high still. It's crazy. Evelyn's saying thank you to Bradley. She's got the cup of coffee and the donut with Cowboy. I love that. That's so nice. Mike's saying Koloko being out is worse for Koloko's image. I don't think Rich Paul wanted this. Koloko was a free agent next summer if he stayed on the 3-year contract. Okay. So you think that, all right, so you're trying to debunk my conspiracy theory by saying that this isn't good for Koloko no matter what, and that Rich Paul wouldn't have wanted him to sit like this. Okay. All right. Well, if everything's on the up and up, and you know, that does logically make sense, Mike. In some ways, it's bad for his brand if it looks like he is tainted with health issues, and that no agent will want this. All right, you're a voice of reason, and because you come with a logical approach, you can win me over. That's the thing. I'm crazy. I will go off with conspiracy theories, but y'all can debunk them. I'll come back around. I'm not like a MAGA that's just going to think whatever they say. If you could give me proof, in some ways, that's a logical argument for why Rich Paul would not want him to be out on the shelf. So thank you, Mike. Once again, Mike, you're MVP today, man. You truly are. Cowboy saying, Granny, you keep being you. Alley-oop to the swag queen. There you go. I love it. Yeah, let's get Evelyn some dunks real quick. Where's Evelyn on the chat? All right, Evelyn, you're going to get a 10-pointer for returning. You're 21. You got that Dominique Wilkins 21. I love it. I love it. She's got that 21 right now. 21. Oh, to be 21 again, Evelyn. You know, Evelyn, in some ways, she's such a party animal. Her mentality is like 21 years old. That's right. We love Granny Swag. We love her so much. That's right. Mike's saying it makes no sense to fake an injury like that. Okay, I guess you're right. Even with the timeline, you're saying after this year, he would have been free of the Raptors if he really wanted to afterwards without any rookie extension or, the Raptors trying to make a qualifying offer. He could have rejected it and say, no, I want to go somewhere else. Okay. All right, Mike, you're winning me over once again with logic. That's right. Milbester's here. All right, we got Knicks Nation in the house. The Knicks freak has returned to the chat, and he's probably going to want to talk about Dominican Republic for a second. Milbester, well, how sweet was it to see your guy Al Horford show up in the Dominican with Larry O'Brien, bringing that trophy to your home country for the first time ever, the DR getting a taste of the Larry O'Brien NBA championship because of Al Horford of the Boston Celtics returning to that country with that. That was such a cool little scene to see with Horford with the Larry O.B. down there. Yeah, I like Al. I don't like the Celtics, but I like Al Horford. I always have. Yeah, he's saying, morning, Lex. How's Saturday? I saw yesterday about DeMar DeRozan's new memoir book, Above the Noise, and it's interesting. I haven't read it, but I'm glad that he tackled on his mental health. Yeah, this is a fantastic thing. He's a Samaritan. He is just a philanthropic person with his life. You know, some people give money to causes. Well, DeMar DeRozan gave his experience and his story of his life to a cause. And he is such a great role model. He is such a great person to get out there and say, man, you can be sensitive. Man, you can have emotions. You can feel things and don't be unproud about it. In some ways, he's breaking barriers. In some ways, he's more important. In some ways, just like Bill Russell was more important because of the civil rights movement. In some ways, he's doing things that are going to last past his playing days right now, because he's making it more realistic and real and okay for men to speak about things and get things out there. Toxic masculinity has marauded our gender for so long. And we need to have healing, and we need to have some of the old stupid machismo, macho stereotypes to die. Because in some ways, listen, it's not about being tough and not being able to show emotion. It's not being tough when you cold shoulder your children because you're just an old, ornery son of a bitch. No, it's being tough when you come with love and you show empathy and you show that you care. You can't be this cold, heartless piece of shit all the time. And that's what we're saying here. In some ways, DeMar has been so open about his anger in his early years in Toronto. He showed up in Toronto, a kid from Compton, and he was like, why am I mad at everything? Because he had a whole bunch of trauma built up in him from growing up in the streets of Compton and seeing people gunned down, people he loved. Understanding the idea of what death is at a very young age can traumatize someone. And in some ways, he had to heal from the trauma of being in a Compton and growing up in that environment with the gangs and the violence. And in some ways, he didn't understand why he was so mad when he showed up in Toronto. You're in the NBA. You got a gilded life. You have amazing things ahead of you. Why am I so pissed off all the time? You can remember young DeMar. When you see young baby fresh DeMar showed up on the Toronto Raptors around 2009, and he looked so young and he looked so innocent, but he looked troubled. He looked angry. He scowled a lot. In some ways, he was pissy. In some ways, he was somebody that did not like talking to the media, and he was kind of keeping himself. Now, I want to say something right now. I'm going to window something real quick about DeMar DeRozan, and I'm going to say something about, well, Kendrick Lamar said we didn't deserve him up here. Well, you know what? He deserved us. And you know why? Because I feel like this, and I'm going to say this right now. Toronto is a forward-thinking, progressive city with a lot of very intelligent people that are very heartfelt and really in touch with their feelings and really in touch with their psyche and their way they feel and stuff. And in some ways, if DeMar had gone to any jabroni U.S. NBA city down there, he may not have had this journey that he has had to get to this point to write this memoir above the noise. In some ways, you take the kid from Compton and you throw him in another city, another country, another place that's foreign, and he has to find himself, put those roots in the ground and grow a new tree in a new place. Well, he's meeting new people with new ideas and new kinds of lives. And maybe there were some people along the line that were instrumental in allowing him the self-exploration inside himself to go after his demons from growing up in Compton. I'm telling you right now, in some ways, DeMar DeRozan does not write this book without that tweet he tweeted that was honest and honorable and scary, that he's saying, I'm depressed and I can't feel this. He said this whole press tour. If I don't do that tweet, this book doesn't exist. Well, I'm going to go even further, DeMar. That book doesn't exist if you don't come to Toronto and you get enlightened by the community and some of the people around the community in Toronto that helped you open your mind and expand to the idea of like, you know what? I need help. I need self-help. I need therapy. I need to deal with my demons from growing up in a war zone and understanding myself better. In some ways, he heals partly because he comes to Toronto. And I don't know if that happens in other cities around the NBA. Maybe it happens in New York. Maybe it happens in Chicago. But Toronto was the fertile ground in the place where this was cultivated and this happened. And that, I mean, that may be true what I'm saying. In some ways, if he's drafted by any other NBA team, does he go on the journey of self-exploration to defeat the demons from his past? I don't know. We can't say for sure, but I'll tell you, Toronto was the right spot for it to happen because it did. It did. That's what I'll say right there. It's so good to see you, Mel Bester. And let's keep it on topic, my guy. Let's keep it on topic. How about that? He's saying, I'm happy for DeMar. He goes back home to California near his home of Compton while playing on the better team in the Kings with Fox and Sabonis. He got out of the Bulls. They were awful with him there. And it was just poor mismanagement with the Chicago Bulls. DeMar was a good citizen. The Bulls nation loves him. He did everything right there. There's nothing to be ashamed of in his time on the Bulls or the Spurs. And in some ways, yes, he needed to get out there. And I'm glad he's going to the Kings. And I agree with you. It's a better situation. The Bulls have some more things to figure out. And in some ways, it centers around Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball. Yeah. Evelyn's saying that, gee, I hope to see you soon. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We could have a Raptor Freak get together. And, gee, show up and come and see us when we do the next one. Because Evelyn's almost always there. And that's why we love Granny Swag. She's an in-person person at our get-togethers. Almost always. That's what we love. Granny Evelyn. That's right. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. I lost my place. I'm going to find it again. Let's see. Where are we? We're right here. Andrew's saying so many players got better after leaving L.A. Julius Randle, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brendan Ingram, Hart, Caruso, KCP, Malik Monk. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is not a good place for you to go to, Christian. If you are going to hear me this morning, Christian Coloco, you go to Lakers, you may go there and your career may die. I'm not going to lie, seriously. Fiercey saying, good morning, Evelyn. Good morning from Fiercey to Evelyn. David saying, I'd rather go to China and play for there than play for the Lakers. Man, Dwight Howard kind of said that. That's true. Let's see. Mike saying Masai planned for Coloco being possibly available this summer. He waived Sasha and signed Bruno to a non-guaranteed contract. So if Coloco didn't pass the health check, we would have kept Bruno. Yeah, I knew this. Angolan, Bruno Fernando from the Atlanta Hawks is the backup plan just in case. But what if we have them too, both of them? I wouldn't be upset to keep Fernando somehow, some way and make this work. But if Fernando is the guy, I don't know. What do you do, Mike? I mean, in some ways, maybe that's the poll. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't put a poll up right now. Bruno Fernando or Christian Coloco? Who do you go with, guys? You guys go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm not going to put a poll up. If you had your choice, in some ways, Fernando's more seasoned. He has more years in the NBA. He has more real time on the court. But the potential of Coloco may be a higher ceiling than Bruno Fernando. So where's that trade-off there? What do you think about that, guys? In some ways, there's a proven health security with Bruno Fernando. He was at Basketball Without Borders with Emmanuel Quickley and Darko and Masai this summer. He's shown a commitment. He does very much seem like he fits really nice with the Raptors and no kind of problems. Do you take the more veteran Bruno Fernando, or do you take a gamble on the health risks and the higher ceiling of the possibility of Christian Coloco? That's the question in some ways for Raptors Nation this morning, is what I'm saying right here. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Kareem saying Rich Paul's tactics have fucked over most of his clients, not named LeBron or Anthony Davis. This is true. In fact, he has agents that used to work for him and clients that are suing him for messing up their careers. There's an agent that's suing him, and there's also some clients that he messed up their careers because he was negligent on taking care of certain deadlines for them, and they passed because he was so up LeBron's butt or other main clients that he had that he forgot about some of the secondary clients and let some deadline pass and screwed over some of his clients in the past years. So, yeah, it's totally true, Kareem. In some ways, you join Clutch at your own risk. Yeah, you're going to be on LeBron's Clutch, but you know what? They may not do a good job for you, and you may be better off going somewhere else with a different representation. Is what I say right there. Evelyn's saying good morning to Fiercey. I love it. Nako's saying, considering what you probably make in China compared to the Lakers, I agree. That may be true right now because there ain't no money for them in there's something that smells right around me. And it's trying to kind of give me an allergy problem. I don't know. They got some sort of scented candle right near me. Let's see. Nako's saying there's a few 7'2" guys in the 2025 draft. 2025 could have the most freaks of nature. Yeah, we'll have to see. Raptor Freak, Nako the Nacho. We'll have to see. Oliver Ryu coming down the pipeline. That's right. 7'9". Andrew saying, Coloco is the lob threat we need for Scotty. Please, Masai, bring him back. Yeah, I'm with you. But could Shamshe be that lob threat? Could Mobo be that lob threat? Could Fernando be that lob threat? I know what you mean. Coloco is a whole other level of lob threat. And for real, Scotty wants Coloco back. We've seen the real reaction to him on Twitch when he heard that. That's right. Fiercey saying, Shamshe on Clutch. Great. Facepalm. Well, at least Shamshe really does look up to the Raptors. His favorite team is the Raptors. His favorite player is Pascal, and he calls Masai the president. So in some ways, that 18-year-old has a lot of respect for our team, and hopefully it stays that way. And he doesn't get like tainted by some bullshit from his representation. Yeah. Mike's saying with Kelly's versatility, I would welcome Coloco back. He would fit nice on the bench. For sure. I am totally with you, Mike. We want Coloco back. And make it happen, Bobby Masai. Just make it happen. Fuck this Lakers shit. Kareem saying, if Coloco decides to sign with the fucking Lakers, I'm putting him up there on my hate list, right above DeRozan, right under Vince. DeRozan? Oh, because you're mad because of Kendrick Lamar still. Yeah, let's go. Let go of the hate for DeRozan because it's misguided in some ways. But Vince, yeah, you can keep him up there. Vince has still not come correct for what he did to the Raptors in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I would put him up there too in some ways. Seriously, Kareem, I'm petty like that. I'll be petty with Kareem like this. He's going to go take Adele songs off of his wife's phone. Well, I don't know if there's any Adele songs around here I need to take off a phone here. But I might. I don't know. I might have to investigate. Nako's saying Carlson is interesting. I'd rather trade Coloco. Oh, wait. I'd rather Coloco. I think Shamshe is more of a forward, but if he grows, he grows. Well, he's a forward center, and he's going to grow. He's already 6'10", Nako. So the ability for Ulrich Shamshe to be 7'1" or 7'2" in like the next 2 years is there. The potential is there. And in some ways that makes him a very tall power forward or a center. So yeah, and Carlson's a good shot blocker and a 3-point shooter, and he's a different kind of prospect. In some ways, he doesn't have the athleticism of these other guys that we're talking about, though, is what I say right there. Mike's saying the Lakers at the moment have to give up something to get a team to take money so they can sign Koloko and not be in the second apron. The bigger issue is getting a star. The center issue could be solved with JV. Well, we'll have to see. In some ways, the Lakers' problems are the Lakers' problems, and I ain't trying to figure them out for them. No, I'm not. Evelyn's saying, FYI, I moved into a condo at Unionville. Hope to see my Raptor Freak family soon. That's awesome, Evelyn. Well, I'm glad you got a new place and you got your own place. And I got to figure out where Unionville is. I moved too, Evelyn. So I don't know. Maybe I'm close to you at this point. We'll have to see. And when we do a Raptor Freak family meet and greet, maybe I'll have to come pick you up if you're on the way. That's right. David's saying, that's awesome, Evelyn. So nice to see you. Yeah, we're really happy when we see people return to the chat. Longtime Raptor Freaks that have been a part of the channel for years, like Evelyn. We love Evelyn so much. Granny Evelyn is the granny of swag, the swaggiest granny out there. And she's a party granny, too. That's the fun part. Yeah, Kareem's saying, at the end of the day, Rich Paul has a job to do. It's these one and done kids who go to school and want to join the league who are stupid. Yeah, I won't disagree with you here. Nako's saying Jonte for top 75 worst NBA players. Yeah. I think that not a lot of people would disagree with you all around the NBA and different people. A lot of people are probably very pissed at him. You know, old heads are pissed at him. Old heads, young people that are trying to make the league, G leaguers that are trying to make the league are pissed at him, squandering it. The fact that this happened, Adam Silver's pissed at him. We know a lot of people are pissed at Jonte, and he really fucked up. I think he didn't have the self-awareness to understand just how much dookie he just stepped in. I think he still doesn't understand it by him saying, oh, I want to go play in Greece. Judge, can I leave the country to go play in Greece? What do you fucking think you can do that? No, you're a criminal. You fucked up. You did a very bad crime. And in some ways, people will say, well, why aren't they doing this to domestic violence guys in the NBA? I agree with you. But this is one they want to make an example. They're going to nail him to the wall. And that's what they're doing. Mike's saying trades only become official when the free agency starts. So we had to have everything more set in signings and spots. Okay. He knows the minutia of the whole timing and the deals and stuff like that better than me. And that's why, Mike, man, you're such an MVP on a day like today, man. Smooth saying Rafael Araujo, #1 worst NBA player ever. Not hyperbole. I'm being serious. I don't know. I mean, Smooth, I could probably trot somebody out that was worse than him, but he was really bad. You're exactly right. And Nameless saying, Buongiorno a tutti, familia. Yes, our Italian plumber is back, and his name's not Mario. His name's not Luigi, but I don't know his name. His name is Nameless. That's right. Buongiorno a tutti familia. Yes, let's see. Smooth saying, all these years later, I don't know how he got an NBA job, let alone a draft pick, a lottery pick. Well, that's the GM at the time. Wasn't he a Rob Babcock pick? Yeah, that is it right there. That's enough for you right there. That's enough right there. And Smith saying, in reference to Nako's Jonte comment, all these years later, okay, you're talking that. And G saying, DeMar just posted a video of his Toronto book signing. David, can you see yourself in it? There were a lot of people there from what I could see. And it wasn't like what I thought it would be. I thought that he would sign each book and see each person, but that's not what it was. He got up and spoke to the crowd, and the books were already signed in a pile, and they came and got them that way. So anybody that went to the event that were hoping they were going to get some one-on-one, able to talk to him, they weren't able to because there was no lineup like that. It was basically he had pre-signed all of them, and people just came and got their books, and he came on stage, he waved everybody, and they cheered for him, and he answered some questions in a Q&A. So that's kind of how that event went down last night. Andrew saying, I've dreamed of a lineup with Koloko and Shamshe in it. Masai needs to lock it in and make it a reality. I'm with you, Andrew. I'm totally with you on this. Milbester saying, I saw that Al Horford trophy in DR with President Luis Abinader was great, and especially Dominican merengue artist legend Juan Luis Guerra there as well. Dominican basketball will be great. That's a big deal to your country to have the first ever NBA Dominican champion. And that's fantastic. And in some ways, Milbester, I thought of you when I saw Al Horford going there, knowing that you're a very proud Dominican person. That's right. Evelyn's saying, thanks, David. Hugs. And Smooth is saying that I still remember Chuck Swirsky in retirement. In reference to RA. He's probably not going to be in the NBA past his 3-year rookie contract. In reference to Rafael Araujo. Okay, yeah. I mean, he was a bust, a complete bust, a Brazilian bust. Araujo. Brian's here, guys. We got to say happy birthday to Brian. It's his 44th birthday. He's Jerry West. We heard the Lakers are going to be wearing the 44 on their jerseys in honoring of Jerry West's passing this year. So yeah, Brian's 44 today, and it's his birthday. And if you're around West Side, Lawrence West, kind of Bathurst area, Spadina area, it's Brian's birthday. And if Brian, if you want to put your address in the chat, if you're that forward, you can get some people to come there to your birthday party today, because Brian is having a birthday party. We want to say happy birthday to him. What's up, Freak Nation? Hope y'all have a greater day than mine today. Oh man, listen, I hope you have a really good day, Brian. I don't want you being down or anything like that. No, the Raptors Freak family has got your back, and we love you, my guy. And I just want good things for you, man, in your 44th year. And we've got a date, you and me, to do your show very, very soon. And I know Mike's going to come in and do it also. You get Logical Raptors Fanatic on there. And you know what? You should utilize his expertise on the salary cap stuff. If you get him on the show, he can really help you. Maybe it's a really good time to have him on to talk about the Coloco situation right now before it gets sussed out. Yeah. So, but yeah, Brian, keep your head up, man. And happy birthday, guy. Seriously. What I would tell anybody in this situation is practice gratitude and think about the things on your birthday today that you're most grateful for, and you will be in a very, very happy mood after that. So just think about and touch base on the things that you absolutely are like, man, I'm so happy about this person. I'm so happy about this situation in my life. I'm grateful for this, that I have this in my life. And that'll start it and turning everything around for you, Brian. Just keep your chin up. We love you, guy. And happy birthday to Brian. That's right. We got another birthday today, guys. Also, it's actually the Sergeant's birthday. Also, Sergeant Wayne Strainer, I did not forget it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to Wayne. Also, one of our bench. I kind of call Sergeant Wayne the Sergeant at Arms of this channel. In some ways, organizations have sergeants at arms, and they're kind of the person that comes in and when the shit hits the fan, they kind of get order back in order. And that's how I feel about Wayne Strainer, one of our great Raptor freaks for many years now, and what his role is on this channel. He's a voice of reason. He's a voice of strength, and somebody that I really want to celebrate also today on the Share the Love Club for Eric Smith today. Sergeant Wayne Strainer, happy birthday to you also. I didn't forget you either. Nako's saying, I go to a lot of concerts. A lot of the people I see who don't even like Drake very much keep saying Toronto is one of their favorite shows. I've seen concerts in Detroit, and more people talk positively of Toronto. Well, we're just hype, man. You know what? A lot of it is the makeup of our city. It's so diverse. We have people from all around the world. We have very, very intelligent people in this city. We have to live in Toronto, you have to be a go-getter. You have to be making it because it's so expensive. So in some ways, it's like New York like that. You have to, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So in some ways, the people that live in Toronto are diverse, intelligent, creative, amazing, and we just come through like that. And because we come together in certain ways, we are so strong because we have diversity in our city that is interlaid and in here. There's other parts of Canada that hate us because they're racist. There's people down in the States that are doing things all wrong in their cities, calling them melting pots. But Toronto has been declared the most diverse city in the world over London and New York recently. And we are proud of that. And that is what we're talking about right here, Nako. And that's part of the reason why you drive to the Palace of Auburn Hills and you go watch a Detroit Pistons game. You may see more Raptors fans there, Canadians jumping the border and taking over their arena like you did that one time. That's right. Milbester's saying, Lex, I was checking on Twitter, and apparently the Knicks filled final roster spot. They signed Wizards Landry Shamet on a 1-year deal. So we got another guard shooter as a trade piece in case. Wow. Yeah, they were breaking that news to me earlier that you got your last piece, Landry Shamet. It seems like it's just a little bit more of what you already got. But hey, you guys do what you do, Knicks Nation. And Villanova Knicks, you go. And I love OG. That's all I'll say. And Precious also. Precious and OG are my guys. I love those guys. All right, this is something important we need to talk about today. And I'm glad that Mike brought it up. I did not want to forget about this. This is really, really important. Andrew Wiggins' father died yesterday. Mitchell Wiggins, former NBA player, former Houston Rocket, former Florida State Seminole. And this is really, really sad. We know that Mitchell has had health issues for the last couple of years, and this has been a big reason why Andrew Wiggins has missed time playing for the Golden State Warriors. Well, sadly, his journey has come to an end as far as with his health issues, and he's passed away. And he's very young. He's only like 60 something. So I'm really sending a heartfelt condolences out to the Wiggins family and Andrew and the Vaughn people out there for this. This sucks. This is so, so sad. And Mitchell Wiggins is an extremely good athlete. He was recently name dropped in the All the Smoke podcast by Dominique Wilkins as somebody that he competed against in the early 80s in high school. That Mitchell Wiggins was very much a versus for Dominique Wilkins in his early high school days, and he had a lot of respect for him as a baller. Yeah, Mitchell Wiggins is not a very well-known NBA player, but when he played, he was. And in some ways, he's somebody that we need to recognize. And in some ways, I feel so bad for Andrew right now. And condolences and all of the healing and all the things and rest in power and peace to Mitchell Wiggins this morning, a Seminole and a Rocket. Yeah. Oh, man. I was really sad about this. When I saw that immediately yesterday, I was like, damn, I'm feeling for Andrew right now. I really am. I really, really am feeling for Andrew right now. Milbester saying, Bruno Fernando, my Knicks needed a center, and he was on their radar. He re-signed with the Raptors. He would have been a big help. Also, Lex, Brunson and Quickly were playing one-on-one games in New York recently. Yeah, we covered this. I do the Instagram stories, and we were talking about Brunson and Quickly playing one-on-one against each other in New York recently. And yes, Fernando, yeah, I knew you guys were looking at him, and in some ways I'm glad we got him. All right, let me go through my tabs real quick. Leo Routens is saying in his words of wisdom, how am I complicit in the creating of the conditions I say I don't want? This is true. In some ways, if there's things in your life that you don't like, well, think about what you're doing to have them to happen and change that behavior. It's real quick thing that a quick fix, a life hack. It's like, well, this keeps happening. Well, why don't you change the behavior that keeps that happening? You make the same mistake over and over again. Well, that's your own damn fault. So you need to learn from your mistakes. And if you don't like the outcome, well, change it. And that's what Leo's all about talking about this morning. Let's see. Let's do the Instagram story. Since Milbester brought it up, Gary Trent Sr. is saying this, and I hope Coloco's not necessarily listening to him. A wise man once said, you should never go back with your ex. I asked him, why should I not go back to my ex? And he replied, if you see the same tree twice in the forest, it's because you are lost. Whoa, deep stuff from Gary Trent Sr. And he's got some football player who's an athlete. He caught it high and he's dipping and dodging. He jumped over somebody and he missed the tackle. Fantastic stuff. Grady Dick out in Miami with an umbrella. There was a lot of rain in Miami, apparently, while the Raptors have been down there having training camp. Grady's shirt is really cool. It says unstoppable together, one race, one love. I love that. Grady's such a good message of unity, and the Raptors are putting him on blast for it on their official admit. He's also got Rod Wave. He's listening to some Rod Wave on his Instagram stories. Lloyd is putting on blast his good friend Jonathan Mobo. Jonathan has become the first player to sign a shoe deal with the emerging brand called Serious Players Only. It's a small company, and Jonathan's going to be the first player in the NBA to wear Serious Players Only brand shoes. Now, I hope they're good shoes. Now, I've heard that the shoes have special insoles, and that's one of their gimmicks is that they have a really interesting insole that's really good for the team. So, Jonathan, I hope those shoes are very good for you, and that's what I'm caring about with that. And also, Lloyd's listening to Young Thug is what he's listening to there. Your boy Scotty's got Jay Simpson on blast on his Instagram stories right now. His good friend from the Entourage, Jay Simpson. We saw him with Scotty a lot in Spain. And, well, Jay Simpson hoops. He's a hooper. And, he's got the ball in that picture. Slim Duck, Chris Boucher has got, it looks like Aloe Black or somebody. Who's that? What's his name? I forget his name. But, yeah, he's got a couple of rappers on there. And he says, when you're an introvert and somebody won't stop talking, that's hilarious. Oh, it's Kodak Black. That's his name. Steve Harvey. He's got Steve Harvey on there. Facial expressions I make at work. On a daily basis. That's hilarious. So I hope Chris is having a good time working with the Raptors right now. And there he is driving in the rain in South Beach, Miami. So Chris checking in Miami. It's pouring rain, and he's driving around in South Beach. And I guess some of the Raptors are still down there doing training camp and stuff together in South Beach. And it's good to see Chris checking in a rainy South Beach. And it looks like it's just flooding like crazy there. Holy crap, they got a lot of rain there. That's nuts. It's coming up through the manhole. Crazy. Emmanuel quickly has returned to We the North 2K, and he is on the 2K25, and he is with his squad, and they are going to be playing. So look out on Twitch for Manuel quickly playing 2K in the next week or two. He's going to be back, I'm sure. There's DeMar showing love to Toronto and Canada for getting number 5 on the bestsellers list on Amazon in Canada right now, Above the Noise, debuting at number 5. That's fantastic. DeMar's very proud of that. He's an author now. And you know what he keeps saying? I realized this. He keeps saying his first book. I think he's going to do more because he says, yeah, I've written my first book. I think he has a deal to do more. He's going to be doing more books down the road. So it'll be interesting to see what DeMar does as an author in his career. And he continues to put stuff out there. So, yeah, he's doing the media tour right now. We see him with Marcy Ian at the Cam H event on Thursday night. That was such a big deal that he did that. Once again, DeMar giving back to the kids at Cam H is just such a huge thing and so beautiful. And then also he's, they're covering all the different things about his memoir coming out. There he is coming out to the ovation from the Raptors fans here in Toronto coming out. And he looks genuinely like just so happy and smiling and feeling the love from Toronto at his book event last night. I mean, seriously, y'all, there's some healing there, man. There's some real strong healing. Jonathan Mobo getting his new shoe deal done with Serious Players Only. Yeah, it's a big deal. You're the first one, my guy. Jamal Shed showing pictures of when he was a kid. I say Shed was a cute kid. He looks a little short with his family in that one picture, the little tie. But yeah, there he is with his sister. I think it's his sister. It could be his mom. I'm not totally sure, but it's probably his sister. The highlight of the year for the 905 has gotten to the finals, and it's going to be between JFL and Marquise Noel. It's a Marquise Noel transition pass, and then there's a JFL dunk in transition. I am not happy with the two highlights that are in there. I think that Marquise Noel had a better pass that the 905 admin should have picked. Instead, it was an off the backboard pass to Miles Burns when he dunked it behind him. That was the best play that Marquise Noel did as a 905er last year, was that off the backboard pass in the dunk by the guy behind him. That's the one you should have put on there. But yeah, those are the two in the finals. So actually it's semifinals. So there are 4 still out there. So you guys got to vote. Who you got? Marquise Noel's dime or JFL's dunk? Raptors official admin's got Grady in the rain with the umbrella that I was just talking about. And Scotty, this is funny. The Raptors admin said some summer vacation mode. And Scotty commented on Raptors post, vacation's over, season approaching. And he's got the prayer hands. So, yeah, Scotty's ready to play. Him suiting out a lot of the end of the season has made him primed and ready to come back this season. I'm telling you right now. Jamal McGlure doing more laptop drives for students around the community. This time he's out in Durham region, giving out laptops yesterday to young students starting their school year. So to learn to grow, Jamal is a mentor and a great community ambassador for the Raptors organization and the CBL and everybody else he represents. So good job, Jamal, out there giving back to the community in Durham this time. And there's We the North 2K. They're ready. Their new arena is ready, and they're ready to start playing some 2K. So there's your Instagram report for the Raptors today. Yeah, Mobo's on new shoes, and DeMar, successful return back to Toronto last night. So good right there. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. Smooth saying Mitchell had some great moments for the Houston, man. Yeah, this is sad. In some ways, he was back in the day of early Olajuwon. I remember Mitchell Wiggins being on the Rockets when I first started watching the NBA as a little kid. And yeah, in some ways, it's crazy. I had not made the connection that Mitchell Wiggins was the father of Andrew Wiggins right away. When Andrew Wiggins showed up, I was like, I just thought he was a Canadian kid. And I always thought Mitchell was an American guy. And I think he is. But it's crazy that, like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, and Andrew Wiggins' dad is Mitchell Wiggins? I remember Mitchell Wiggins. But, yeah, it's really, really sad. And once again, condolences to the Mitchell Wiggins family. And this is just – I hate hearing this kind of stuff. Yeah, 64 is young. It's sad. Canadian basketball family has been hit hard this year. Oh, yeah, with the Barrett family and now the Wiggins family feeling these things. You're exactly right, Mike. Smooth saying Bulls, Rockets, and Sixers. Mitchell Wiggins played for those 3. There you go. Most prominently, I remember him on the Rockets. And I know that was probably the meat of his career, was most of the years was there. Bester saying, what did Mitchell Wiggins die of? I'm not totally sure, and I won't speculate on it. But if somebody has the answer, I'll go ahead and read it. Smooth saying, Bester, they haven't said. And G saying he was sick for a while, hence why Wiggins stepped away for that time. That's right. Mike saying Andrew Wiggins' absence last season was from his dad's health being bad. That's right. And not even just last season. He stepped away the year before a bit too. So this has been going on for a couple of years. Smooth saying, with this Shams report, perhaps the Christian Coloco decision happens in the next 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, this is definitely not just smoke. This is fire. When it's Shams, we know there's actually a flame, and something probably is imminently about to happen. So, yeah, I think we could probably expect this. And it's funny because we knew this was coming, and I just did a stream on Christian yesterday, and now all of a sudden, well, there's news in the middle of the night. Kareem saying, Lex and I are in a nail biter for the bronze in WNBA fantasy. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. I didn't want to forget about this. This is crazy. Right now, they're not going to play any games today. Everybody plays tomorrow. It's the last day of the WNBA regular season tomorrow. And Kareem and I, for the bronze, the third place game, are 359 to 358. I have a 1-point lead over him as of right now. So we are going down to the wire. 1-point lead, 359 to 358. We got tomorrow. We have all our players playing. Pick the right ones, Kareem, and to the best team win that bronze trophy. Meanwhile, in the other bracket for the championship, Meredith has got a pretty good lead on David right now, 404 to 318. David Saborin, Commissioner Trivia. It looks like we're going to let Meredith of Ottawa go undefeated this season. And that's an amazing thing that this man did not lose a single week. And he's going to repeat as the only ever Raptor Freak WNBA champion, very probably, seeing as it's almost a 100-point lead. So, MK, wow, what a season for you. And in some ways, I'm going to send you another ring. This man needs rings on all fingers, and he's going to get his second ring, it looks like. And we're going to send you that trophy too. So, Meredith, you're going to be getting that trophy and that ring for winning our WNBA Fantasy League this year. Wow, I'm so impressed with you, MK. I am so impressed with you. Seriously, that's a big deal. And you beat a very tough competitor in the finals named David Saborin right there. Yeah. Kareem, man, tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be must watch. We'll see who wins. The best team win between Full Ass and my team. That's right. That's right. Mike's saying, I'm not going to lie. I think Coloco is in an appeal process with the right to play panel, and that's why he's able to sign, but he hasn't been cleared to play yet, though. That could be an interesting situation, and that could be fraught with kind of problems there. In some ways, that's part of what Masai and Bobby have to think about is the gamble, that there may not be a total guarantee that he shows up. And why would you invest money in him if he isn't even going to come play for you? That's a scary situation. That's a scary situation. And I do not envy our front office in the position they are in, because this is probably one of the most difficult situations they've ever had to deal with as a GM and a president of a team. So, yeah, that's a very weird conundrum, Mike, that you just described. That's a very weird conundrum, and I don't want them to fall into that. Milbester's saying, wow, Lex, Shamet played with Mikhail in Phoenix, so he's easily going to fit in with the roster, but he was added for veteran experience and extra shooter. He will be interesting to see off the bench. Yeah, that's a good connection to make, that Bridges and Shamet had played together in Phoenix already. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that, though. Let's see. Brian's saying 55 Hendrick Avenue. Y'all, seriously, if y'all are in downtown Toronto and you want somewhere to hang out and check out what's going on, go see Brian, seriously, and hang out with him on his birthday. He's asking that you BYOB, and if you have some dish to bring it down there and join the fun. I'm sure Brian's going to have a nice group there, and hopefully more people come from this channel. Seriously, if you don't have anything to do, Cowboy or other people around the city, head to 55 Hendrick Avenue today, this afternoon. Brian's having a birthday party and a barbecue, and you guys are invited. If you're watching, you're invited. That's what I'll say right now. Yeah, and just go there and tell him if he's like, if you're kind of walking up and say, hey, Raptor Freak channel, and he'll be like, oh, you're from the channel, you're from Freak Nation, so come on in. So yeah, just identify yourself, just so it's like, oh, there's a strange person walking over. You just say Raptor Freak. That's a good thing to say, and then you're okay. Trevor's saying, hope these shoes are nothing like LaMelo Ball's, the message to feed up. I know. That's something that I came across in my mind when I heard about Mobo's new shoe, Serious Pros Only. I'm like, man, this better not be no ball shit. This better not be no falling apart, crazy-ass LaMelo Ball kind of Lonzo Ball shoes. No, we ain't having that. These better be well-made shoes, Serious Players Only. You better be Serious Cobblers Only when you're making these shoes. We don't need Mobo having foot problems because he's in a prototype shoe that ain't figured out. And we don't need no blisters or any kind of weird shit happening with the shoes. So Serious Cobblers Only. That's what I'll say to that too. Yeah, Trevor's saying last day for the WNBA regular season, 19. Tomorrow, baby. That's right. All teams will play, and then they'll start the playoffs. And in some ways, I'm really excited for the WNBA playoffs to see who's going to get that championship. Is it going to be another Aces championship? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Is that dynasty too dynastic? Or will a new team come up and upset and take that crown from the defending champions? Will they get the three-peat? That's the other question. Because the Aces are going for a three-peat. You know their coach, Becky Hammond, wants that. You know she does. That's right. All right, let me see. Last day is Thursday the 19th. Last game day, Thursday the 19th. No, the last game day is today. Yeah. This is the last day of the regular season for the WNBA. Is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Anything else in my tabs I want to make sure I talk about before I get done? And I'm real close to just being under 2 hours. This is good. I've been going over 2 hours recently, and it has not been good, guys. So, all right. Let me see. Where's my other ones? Yeah, we talked about that. We did the birthdays. Yeah, and let me just look and see if you guys said anything more in the Raptor Freak chat that I wanted to mention that I didn't see. Oh, one of the things I wanted to mention recently is let's do some former coach news. Jay Triano has been officially named the associate head coach of the Sacramento Kings under Mike Brown, and he will be in the spot that Jordy was in. Jordy Fernandez, of course, is the coach of the Brooklyn Nets now. And now Jay Triano has been elevated to the second highest coach on the team behind Mike Brown. I think that this is telling. And Monique made this distinction, and I appreciate her for it, that Jay Triano is the original coach of DeMar DeRozan when he came into the league. When he joined the Raptors as a rookie, his first head coach ever in the league was Jay. He was coaching our team at that point. So in some ways, this is a nice arrangement and a kind of a full circle moment for DeMar DeRozan to have his original head coach when he first entered the league, Jay Triano, as the number 2 coach on the team he just joined in Sacramento. So that's a little connection that Monique and I made recently that like, wow, that's kind of cool. Jay Triano, former head coach of the Raptors, is now the number 2 coach for the Kings in Jordy's spot. And also, we heard yesterday that former coach of the Toronto Raptors, assistant coach, Earl Watson, has been picked up, and he is going to be coaching with Steve Lavin in a job at, where's the job? It's in San Diego or something, at a college where Steve Lavin of the UCLA Bruins used to be the coach there, is very good friends with Earl Watson. So we're hearing that Coach Earl Watson has picked up a job, and he'll be an assistant coach for Steve Lavin. I think it's San Diego State or something like that. I'm not totally sure the school. Let's see. What else is there on the chat that I wanted to mention for sure? I talked about Oren's out-of-pocket tweet and whatever. We talked a lot about Christian. We talked a lot about DeMar. This is a funny quote that, well, maybe I won't say this right now. I won't say that. I'll go ahead and skip that right now. We don't need to get down that tip right at the end of this stream. You know, DeMar, at one of the events yesterday, named his top 3 Raptors of all time, and he named his buddy Kyle Lowry, Vince Carter, and Chris Bosh. In his mind, those are the top 3 Raptors of all time. And I say, DeMar, you're wrong. The top 3 Raptors of all time are your buddy Kyle Lowry. Once again, you're right on that one. Yourself and Pascal Siakam. That's what I'll stand on and say the top 3 Raptors of all time are Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, and Pascal Siakam. And you can go ahead, DeMar, and say that it's Kyle Lowry, Vince Carter, and Chris Bosh, but I'll say you're wrong. And then everybody in the comment section is like, wow, DeMar really is salty. Why wouldn't he say Kawhi Leonard? And I'm like, y'all, he only played for us 1 year. I get it. We got a championship the year he was here. He's the finals MVP. But seriously, people outside of Raptors culture, people outside of Toronto, people that are not Raptors fans, y'all stop chiming in on our shit. Because honestly, you don't come at it from the same perspective as us up here. Whether it's the stuff that has to do with Vince and retiring his jersey and that stuff, y'all need to shut up. You have no business in this because it's our franchise and it's our decisions to make. So y'all can have your ideas about who the top players in the Raptors history are. That's fine. Y'all can have them. But we know up here the real ones. And the real ones are Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, and Pascal Siakam. That's what I'll say right there. Fred VanVleet fourth. That's what I'll say right there. Yeah. Andrew saying Aja Wilson is so nasty. She's good. She's very, very good. That's right. And Trevor saying, I'm in Chicago until Monday, so I'll go to the Sky game tomorrow. There you go, Trevor. Go get your WNBA action right at the end of the season. Too bad Angel Reese is out. But yeah, thanks for watching me, guys. Today, I'm going to wrap it up just on time, just under 2 hours. What an interesting turn of events in the last day or so with Christian Coloco. I really hope that you end up making the right decision and coming back to the North, my guy, because honestly, you know, Masai went on a limb and did a lot of things to try and get you here. And the things that happened with you with the health is just unfortunate. And in some ways, we want to recoup everything. We want you to recoup your career. We want you to get paid. We want you to develop right. And we know we can handle this for you the correct way up here. You know we will. You know you got that taste. Even with Nick Nurse's coaching staff and the confusion, you know we can still take care of you because our development up here is top notch. And Darko Rajakovic helped Jaren Jackson Jr. get a Defensive Player of the Year. So come on, Koloko. You know the right choices here. Rich Paul, don't do some convoluted bullshit with you and LeBron. You know the right choices here, and we can pay you probably the most. So if I hear that you went there for peanuts and we could have paid you more, yeah, I'm going to be very disappointed in you, Christian. I want to say that right now. Yeah, Daniel's saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Y'all check out his channel. And also, share the love for Eric Smith, y'all. Longtime broadcaster for the Raptors on the radio, play-by-play currently. You and Jones are so awesome. We love you guys both, Eric and Paul. And Eric, I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate some of the people in the Raptors sphere of things that don't get put on blast enough. In some ways, the Share the Love Club is a very honored thing to have for you. And it's something that I'm only building for the people that really are a big part of our history, our culture, and our tradition around the Toronto Raptors team. You know, people like Samson Folk, Casey Bannerman, players like Damon Stoudemire and DeMar DeRozan. You know, that only special people get Share the Love Clubs. John Batove Jr., Larry Tannenbaum, and Teresa Resch. And, well, Eric Smith, we're adding your name to the list as an honoree of getting a Saturday Share the Love Club. I hope if you watch me, you enjoy my stuff. You guys don't have to put me on blast. I do what I do. I'm a little nook in the internet corner. And people find me, well, they find a rabbit hole of real Raptors devotion, love, and passion on the Raptor Freak channel. And that's what we do here. Yeah. Hey, Trevor. Hey, Trevor. Hey, Daniel. How you doing, my guy? All right. And on that note, guys, thanks for watching me. DeMar, we love you, man. And I know you felt that yesterday. And don't ever forget that. And know that you are going to be celebrated so heartily and so true by Raptors Nation forever. And there won't be any cloudy, weird, murky shit like there is with Carter or Bosch because you did it right. You handled yourself with the utmost class. You had every reason to lash out and be a jerk and turn your back and be toxic in this situation and say, fuck Toronto, fuck Canada, fuck the Raptors, fuck Masai. But you didn't. You were bigger than that. You were grown up. You were mature. You handled it in the utmost respect. And that's why you can come back and you can come home. You never burned that bridge, even though you had every reason to pour that kerosene on that bridge and light it up. You did not. And that's why that love came back to you coming back this time. And that love is forever. And Vince, you can only wish that you had that adulation up here in Canada like that to this extent. And same thing for you, Bosch. And that's why you do it the right way, young men and women in your life. You do it right the right way, and it all comes back to you in the right way later on. You were wronged. Well, be the bigger person and be the better person like DeMar DeRozan was, and you will still get your just desserts in the end. That's the message right there. Yeah, much love to you, Nolan. Nolan, I don't know if this is the Nolan that I know, my cousin Nolan, but if it is, I love you, man. And I'm always thinking about you and hoping you're doing great, Nolan. That's what I'll say right there. All the best to everybody out there. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you feel like it, put me on blast somewhere. And if you want to join the channel also, membership has its privileges. You can ask Andrew. He just joined a whole new realm of Raptors information on the Facebook chat. He's going to be informed now, up to the minute, Andrew now being in that chat. So y'all, thanks for joining me. Tomorrow, I was going to do a Sunday report on a certain topic, but I'm going to surprise y'all. I'm going to throw a curveball, and we're going to talk about something totally different tomorrow than I thought it was, especially since the Koloko news is still in the process of being sorted out. I do not feel comfortable talking about what I was going to talk about tomorrow, which had to do with the NBA in Africa. But now I'm going to switch the subject. I'm going to watch something today for 6 hours, and you're going to get my review of Clipped. That's right, guys. I'm watching Clip today, and I'm going to bring y'all my review of the story of the Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, and that whole saga. I'm going to watch Lawrence Fishburne play Doc Rivers today. And I'm going to come back and tell y'all what I thought of the whole series. You're going to get a review of Clip tomorrow on the Sunday Special Report. So y'all tune in tomorrow. And W to you, Tommy. Wow, David, you are amazing. Thank you, David, so much. Wow, thanks for going to that event and doing what you did yesterday. Y'all, take care. Have a great Saturday. Touch grass. Share the love for Eric Smith and all the great Raptor people out there. Nabatia, Raptorize your day. and get out there and get out in the way of good things and happening. Good things are happening. Get out there and have them happen for you. That's right. Let's go. Watch BSG. Oh, you want me to watch Battlestar Galactica still? I got to watch Clip, man. I'm watching that next. All right, y'all. Let's get out there and Raptorize your day. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go. Come on, Christian. You know what you got to do. Come on, Chris.